And it feels good to do this once again. It's Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. Feels like it's been an eternity since we covered a Calgary Flames game. And look, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. The season didn't go for them as they wanted it to, but it is the third and final meeting against the Colorado Avalanche. They're 53, 16, and 11, head coached by Jared Bednar. It sounds like this. Nathan MacKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, Marty Necas with Devin Tays, Sam Walensky, Brock Nelson, Ross Cole, Mel Nichushkin with Brett Kulak and Brett Burns, Nick Law, Parker Kelly, Yoel Kiviranta, Jack Drury, Zakhar Badarkov, and Logan O'Connor, Jack Akan, and Nick Blankenberg will be the defensemen of record. And even as I say that, I think there is going to be a little bit of injuries to be taking place that we probably maybe not see some of these guys. Scott Wedgwood did play yesterday. The projected lines had him going again off the back-to-back. We'll see if that's the case. I've got Mackenzie Blackwood listed. Normally at this time of year, you wouldn't be going back-to-back because Colorado Avalanche have already clinched the President's Trophy. And for the Calgary Flames, let's get into their record as we're going through the anthems. 33, 38, 9 head coach by Ryan Huska. Of note today, there is going to be a lot of the kids. So on the first line, it's going to be the captaincy, Michael Backlund, Blake Coleman, Joel Farabee, with Zane Perek and Zach Whitecloud, Morgan Foss, Matvey Gradin with Victor Olofsson, the former Av since that trade, Oli Mata and Hunter Brustevich. It's Rory Cairns, the final call-up of the season, being used by the Flames, with Connor Zuri and Adam Klapka, Tyson Gross, Yegor Sharangovich, and Adar Suniev will be the other forwards, with Abraham Weeb and Braden Pahal. Pahal coming off, I believe, a 3-point game the other day. So Weeb, I have not seen. Rory Cairns played a couple of games, I believe, before he got injured in November. Brustevich, we've seen a couple times. Zane Perek, this will be my second time looking at him. I called it at the very beginning with Cooper Hopkins there that if he was going to stay with the big club right away, he'd be there all year. He did not, but you would think with Zane, considering how that worked out in between the World Juniors, you would say 26, 27 when we go to the Settle Dome before it closes. Probably going to have him in a uniform full time at that point. So before they close the season on Thursday, they will play the Los Angeles Kings, but I wanted to get one more of these games in. Now, normally for the Kings, because of the blackout, Cooper can't normally cover that. So it is indeed Mackenzie Blackwood. Again, I figure with the projected lines, it was going to be absolutely wrong. We'll see if it's Dustin Wolf or Devin Cooley, because I had Dustin Wolf listed. He's 23, 20, and 3 of 303 at 897 and a couple of shutouts. Blackwood part of the Lumberyard with Wedgwood, 37 games played, 22, 10, and 2, a 2.55, 901, and 3 shutouts. Now, I know there's only a couple games left in the season, but I don't normally say that the playoff race has essentially been decided. There might be a couple matchups still to be determined, but that's really not the case as far as everything else. Cale Makar, he was projected to be out. He is in the lineup today. He just got that camera shot as we're underway. I do want to see as the Flames go offside if Jared Bednar is going to be at the bench boss on the side because he took a puck, a clearing attempt a couple of nights ago, I think against the Vegas Golden Knights. Again, with ABC and Xfinity, there's a little bit of a contrast in here in Michigan, so I can't really watch it. But I saw that he took a puck into the face. So we'll see if Jared Bednar is going to be to the benches or if everyone else be a little bit skittish. As the Avalanche now will take this one on the road whites. It's Ross Colton. Good pass across there, and Cairns able to get that steal immediately as the Flames, again, they got the sea of red jerseys on in the mix of the gold and white stripe. It'll be the road whites with the cerulean pants and the maroon on side of the jerseys here for the Colorado Avalanche. As we go right to left, here is Backlund off a chip and chase, trying to pick it up himself in the left side red line. Farabee, there's a broken stick shaft on one of the Avalanche. And they'll quickly press the other way for Nate Dogg. And off the drop pass, we'll try to recollect across the right side boards, but we'll switch ends from the left to right dot as Farabee gives a draw pass to his defenseman. It's pretty good design there. Backlund a little bit slow developing in the middle of the slot. Otherwise, he would have had a chance. Again, Zach Whitecloud is one of those guys that could have been moved at the deadline since been acquired from the Knights. As Coleman, right out in front, does not hit Blackwood. Flames got possession of it. Whitecloud passing between some skate blades and a turnaround shot there. It gets knocked away as it's Martin Necas, former Carolina Hurricane, sends this around the inboards. Again, he's filled that Mikko Rantanen spot. He's 1 point away from a hundo as this goes up and out of play. Best home record since March 7th. The Flames are 7-0-1 at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Again, I know what it says as far as the rest of the year not making the playoffs, maybe even kind of changing your fortunes in the lottery, but this team has been tough to play against all year when they play at home. And even though they don't have a ton of skill on the ice currently, there's a lot of kids coming, as you mentioned, under Craig Conroy, and I feel like they'll be in good shape as Blankenberg, Michigan man, will send this one across. Again, they're going to pick up another one, are the Colorado Avalanche. And alongside Gavin Brindley, they already have TJ Hughes. There's a long outstretched shot from Green, and this is held by Blackwood. Huska 112, 105, and 29 in his 3 seasons as Flames head coach. I have every reason to believe that he's going to be back next year as this team continues to build. And my question, as I say, this is a begrudging Red Wings fan, although we cover a lot of Flames game alongside Cooper and myself over the years. Are the Flames going to make it to the playoffs first, or are the Red Wings going to make it? Because it seems like the Flames might have another year or two left, but you like the prospects that they have, and the Red Wings probably could have made it if it wasn't for an explosion in the Atlantic, but they're another big move away and fixing out some of their bottom 6 before I can take them serious. As a pass across. Right up the gut now. There's a good speed on the outside, and this shot was turned away by Blackwood as this is now picked up and behind the net now. Cairns circles, high slot wrister, another save Blackwood as Gabe Landeskog will go ahead and push this one ahead. Suniev getting some looks as well. Suniev, his first point Sunday against Utah in his 4th NHL game. So again, a lot of the prospects we get a chance to see this time of year. Here's a cross-ice speed for Bedarkov. This one's taken away. He gets a stick in the lane. This is shoved across the flaming sea, and Verstavich will get off the ice. As this goes to the left side line. Good inside-out move here for the Avs. Spin and turn. High slot now. Parker Kelly trying to find a way. He makes the pass across. Here's a slapper. This is blocked in front of Wolf. It's loose, but the Flames now pick it up. This will take it from right to left. You got Connor Zary and Rory Cairns, and Zary throws it on. Blackwood will hold at 16:39. Suniev looks like he's got a lot of speed. $53, 16, 11, 117 points. If you talk about the Avalanche, they won the President's Trophy. Long shot gets deflected toward the left side red line, and the Flames smartly will pivot a little bit. And a beautiful pass up the breakout to Zary. He'll drop it. He was looking for a ball. That's too much. Connor Zary should have just carried the mail. As Dustin Wolf goes back behind his own net, plays it as a chip. Outlet pass, not a bad idea, but the Avalanche will intercept. Again, they've met 3 times over the last 2 weeks. This is the 3rd and final meeting. Figured I got to get one of these in before it's all said and done, because this is a matchup that Cooper and I pretty much always cover, but I got stuck in with MIHL duties. Michael Backlund up the gut, wrister right in the glove hand of Blackwood, will be forced to hold at 15:45. So they are showing Jared Bednar. He got smoked in the face off a clearing attempt against the Vegas Golden Knights. Bounced and hit him off the side of the head from Keegan Kolesar. And he is not behind the bench for the Avs. Dave Haxtell, the former Seattle Kraken man, is behind the bench for the Avalanche. What a turn of events that is when you think about it. Long outstretched pass for Stevich. Little inside-out move there against Gabe Landeskog. As this is backhanded in behind the mesh. Landeskog trying to provide a screen in front. Great traffic. Wolf makes the first save. Not sure how he did. As this is Brett Kulak now waiting toward the left side. Kind of think of him as an Oiler. Not really used to seeing him as an Av, but he had that trade with Sam Girard with the Penguins early in the year. Backlund, here's a flutterer. That one goes hopelessly wide. As if he picked up now, Necas have it knocked away. Nathan MacKinnon. Let the forwards take a change. Beautiful feed to Necas. They'll spin and turn across the right wing. And here's a partial steal for the Flames. Olofsson, excellent work for the former Av. It's Olli Mata. Olli Mata will throw it on net as this is rimmed around the inboards. Trying to get in the middle of the slot as Gradin's pass gets knocked away. Shot report actually reads 5-5 already as Nick Waugh will go ahead and put this back in behind the inboards. Chris McFarland, another one of those pieces that he picked up here from Nick Waugh. Again, that was one of those little happenstance pieces when they were going to lose Marner for nothing on the Maple Leafs, as it's picked up now. Whitecloud with a tie-up as this works in behind the net. Couldn't get the Waugh, and the Flames will throw this one down the ice. It'll be just far enough for icing. It'll be an ozone drop coming for the Avs.
We've been everywhere because we're for everyone. Molson, everyone is. Great vision here by MacKinnon. He's going to throw this right in front. He's looking for a rebound for Necas. Lehkonen there as well. Necas 1 point away from 100 the first time he'll eclipse that in his career. What a pickup he has proved to be. Oh boy, what a match in MacKinnon. Sometimes I think Necas is one of the most exciting guys in the entire league to watch.
Avalanche have the puck now near the right side dot as this is rimmed around the inboards here for Ross Colton. Back him on the net for Wolf. Bounces off the skate blades as Sharangovich. And now the Flames have this pressed near the left side of the boards as a pull ball pass. This will work in full flight for Marty Necas. Pass across looking for Nate Dogg. Necas falls down. MacKinnon high slot. Here's a half pivot. This will get knocked away in the offensive zone. And a delayed hand is in the air. It'll be a Colorado Avalanche power play. They had 4 posts on their power play. I believe it was an overtime or just all together. Suniev is getting some highlights. And that was Blackwood against Kulak. We'll come back. It'll be an Avs power play.
More numbers dropping means more cash coming and a lot more fun. That's cash coming from the Mission Line.
The size of the toughness of the 3-row Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid. We recreated the best spring. Hot summers. Windiest fall. And coldest winters. All on one track. Through these 3-row SUVs, built for the unstoppable. Kia, movement that inspires.
Baseball. You control your days. Enter for the chance to win superior access classes.
Just threw this poll question up there for the Calgary Flames. And when do you think they're going to make the postseason next? Do you think it's going to be next year, 2 seasons, or 3 or more? Happen to think over the next 3 at least, and that would be the last time you would expect them to be able to make it or not. Nazem Kadri got a welcome back on the video board from the Sea of Red. They're just showing this now. Again, he's got the full sweater because of that broken finger. He's going to miss the rest of the regular season, just a couple of games. They expect him back for the playoffs, but pretty cool to be able to see Nas in the building. That's why I wanted to be able to do this, just to be able to see him. It's we had to make sure we got one of these games in. 100 goals, 239 points in 307 games with the Flames. As Cale Makar's shot gets blocked, and the Avalanche first power play goes all the way back to the left side dot. So Nathan MacKinnon, not really turning on the burners just yet. I don't think a drop pass to Martin Necas. He gets denied right at the line. Good defense there for the Flames as tried to skate in between his legs was Nathan MacKinnon and lost the puck. Now you kind of wonder for Colorado if they wanted to continue to play these big dogs here because you got Makar and MacKinnon, but you just don't want to have anything bad happen to them. You got Martin Necas as well. I'm not saying it will, but this is really you don't need to play these guys at this point. This is sent back in behind the end boards. Now to Cale. Cale will get this toward the left side. Here for Nathan MacKinnon. Right dot, Cale Makar, one-timer. This is deflected out in front as Lekhonen was providing a screen. Broken stick is shoved aside. Nathan MacKinnon, good pass block there for Joel Farabee. He'll chase him in the right side corner, and this will be lofted on the backhand. That was nicely bounced off the end boards to Makar and sent back down. Nathan MacKinnon, 11 power play goals, so most of that stuff is on even strength. That tells you why he's such a fantastic goal scorer. As Blake Coleman provided a little bit of a forecheck, Colorado let their forwards take a change, or I should say for Dave Hextall's squad now, because no Jared Bednar behind the bench. As this is stopped by Wolf. He's going to quickly get back on the stand-up in his crease. Brent Burns off the clapper. This is deflected by Nichushkin and sent back in behind the end boards one more time for Ross Colton. He goes back to Shabaka and Brent Burns, and this is full balled off the glass by Backlund. That'll kill the power play for the Avs. They don't have a shot on him. Malinsky almost put it in his own net. He tried to deke, and he lost the handle of the puck, but Backlund was there. He got a stick on it at the last moment. As Zane Parak pushed this one ahead. Calgary couldn't keep it in the zone. Ross Colton steals, but appropriately goes off sides at 11:19 of the first. Good defense there off the stick check for one Zach Whitecloud against Nathan MacKinnon. That can't be easy. And then Landeskog trying to obscure the vision of Dustin Wolf. They're going to show Malinsky here. He dangles in between his legs and almost put it in his own net. As Nichushkin was a little bit upset with himself for missing the deflection. Sam Malinsky looking on. Here's a steal by the Flames. And it's a tripping call immediately against Colorado, so they couldn't score on their power play. The Flames will get an opportunity on theirs. It's a tripping call that puts the Avs in the box. That's Jack Acan. He's going to go to the box. Might be a Sean, actually, now that I think about it. Jack Sean, the former Bruin. Make sure that I get that correctly. So we'll get one more of these here. We're going to look at Gradine. He got some camera shots here for Sportsnet. Honestly, I'm really just happy to be able to get a Flames game in. It's certainly been a while. Morgan Frost going to get set to take the draw. There's 32 teams, and their power play is 31st. For the Flames, Parekh walks in, shoots. And he hit the crossbar, I believe did Zane, as he's got a big smile on his face. He was able to walk in to the middle of the slot after the faceoff when it was drawn straight back from the left dot. Parekh makes one man miss and then hits the pipe. That was Jack Drury that went for the dive. That was ripped, but it was off the top of the right bar. And now the Flames' next chance off the draw goes into the Colorado bench. They don't need any more of that to the Avs. As Zane Parekh had a chance to kill some penalty time, and now he's going to get some power play time. Again, there was a lot of impatient Flames fans talking about after everything they saw in the World Juniors of why he wasn't called up immediately. I just don't think the plan was to do that right away, unlike what I talked about in the free agency frenzy prospects, because everything that he did throughout the AHL, but now he got nowhere other place to put him. So you're going to get a full start, I would think, of Zane next year. I would have to bet my life on that. 30 of 32 the last 11 games in the penalty kill for the Avs. As it's 1:15 left to go in the Flames power play. It's Morgan Frost off the back pass. As it's picked up now, Gradine will slam it in behind the kick plate. This is bounced out in the middle of the slot. It just eluded Sam Malinsky, and then Cale Makar with a full sail clear from 170. Bounce off the inboards here and start one more time for Big Zane. Zane off the cross pass here to Victor Olofsson, the former Av. Yegor Sharangovich now chasing toward the left side red line. It's loose. Sharangovich trying to get a blade on it. It's a rolling puck. Flames keep it in. And the stick gets taken out of the hands of one of the Avs as it goes down to Dustin Wolf. Long outstretched pass. And this will be ice. Dustin Wolf didn't mean to do it. He shot from about 200 feet and iced it on the other side. 32 seconds left to go in the Flames' first power play.
Dustin Wolf, we know likes to play the puck. That time just misfired a little bit. That led to the ice. Face off to the right of Wolf.
Face off is on the left out. Rory Cairns will be able to get this one straight back. It'll push the Avalanche out of their own end. And it looks like both power plays for both squads will go uninspired here as it's 15 seconds left to go on the power play. Joe and I are working on a solo call. Watching this one from ESPN on Sportsnet from the Scotiabank Saddle Dome for the site of one more game after this against the Los Angeles Kings. And if Cooper wasn't blacked out or didn't have to work, I might try to talk to him tomorrow, or maybe for Thursday. We'll see as this is sent behind the inboards. But he did say in May he will be back for playoff action. So I'm hoping, and that's no disrespect to Ian or Alec Nava, but I'm going to try to get a two call with Cooper and myself just to be able to play catch up a little bit because there's a lot to talk about. Maybe not so much for work related because there's some stuff I can and can't say, but I just think we really need to hit the catch up button and actually get to a really good playoff matchup, and that's what I'm looking forward to. It could very well be these Avs again. And I know there was a promise at some point when the Red Wings do make it, hopefully next year, I'll be able to fulfill that on there with Cooper so we can actually call one of those games together. I'd like to call the Flames and the Red Wings, but that would have to be Stanley Cup Finals. Zane Parekh, 2 spins, has it now. One-timer attempt there for Joel Farabee, and this one will be knocked back down into the Calgary bench. 8:38 left to go in the first. Zane Parekh doing his best top impression. A couple of spins there, but the pass attempt was off the mark. Get a beautiful shot there at Calgary. 8:38 left to go in the first. We'll take a break.
When Verizon gives you a free phone, you say I a lot.
The long thing to
Yes. Like how do you? We say a lot. We bet a lot. Gemini, is my house phone leaning away because it hates me?
nothing personal. It's leaning away for more something.
Gemini, any pointers on how to go? Now at Verizon, cool Pixel 10 Pro with Gemini for $0. Oh, appreciate you. This is where it happens. People still come up to me and talk about it. But granted, you got to think of the stories themselves. Just get yourself in the right position. You never know when a player will become legendary. When the moment comes, will you be ready? Make a decision you'll never forget when you bet on baseball. Bet MGM Sports. Make it legendary.
Trophy last week with their win over the Calgary Flames, but President's Trophy winners hasn't necessarily reflected playoff success in the National Hockey League. Just take a look at the past 5 seasons. Colorado in the mix just 6 years ago, so their second President's Trophy title in 6 years. But a couple of first-round exits, maybe most famously the Boston Bruins a couple years back. So something The Avalanche, with their position home ice throughout the entire playoffs, will be looking
They're showing specifically President's Trophy winners in the last 5 seasons before play got back underway that not necessarily giving you the wholesale success that you would expect to being the best team in the regular season. But it really is a grind. And then you start that second season just into this weekend in April. Again, hopefully I'll have my Waterford Sharks this summer, depending on what happens with that. Is just sending behind the inboards now. But it really is a war of attrition. And just because you do so well in the opening part all the way from October to April doesn't necessarily translate into anything else. But as we've talked about before with the Avalanche, you just got to avoid Game 7 when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs because I haven't really won one of those. As Brent Burns and Blackwood have very good chemistry there and behind the net in terms of wanting to be able to play the puck. Again, Brent Burns is in his, I believe, 41 years of age season, maybe a little bit less or maybe 1 year less. As his 53 wins this season, his second most in club history. Chance now off the drop pass, bounces near the right side boards, and Mackenzie Blackwood will jump up to make the save of the trapper. 7:52 left to go in the first. Flames actually lead on the shot board 6-5 as they're looking at Scott Wedgwood. In terms of Wedgwood and Blackwood, Wedgwood's actually had a save percentage of about 920 plus when Blackwood is in the low 900s. Usually that's the other way around, but Wedgwood has had a fantastic year. I wouldn't say he's stolen the starter job, but I would expect him to start any of the game ones this weekend here for the Avs, depending on whoever they play, as it's Makar. He was being bothered by Backlund. Lekhonen now. This is held in by Ole Mata. Mata now off the wraparound. He's going to puck protect. Lefty now trying to ride the backhand in the middle of the slot. And that got taken away as well off a stick blade as will be ripped back down and rated the hole. 7:15 left to go in the first. John Hunter with it from the Scotiabank Settle Dome. Good to cover a Flames game because it's certainly been a while. Wanted to make sure. Maybe I'll even do it again on Thursday. As it's picked up off the backhand. Brstevich will throw this one deep now. Sharangovich off the deflection. And this will hit the right side boards as Sam Walensky needs some help in behind his own net. And Brstevich now. Clinton Township, Michigan native, will get flipped up high for Ross Colton. Beautiful feed. Avalanche got it off the rush. Here's a sharp angle chance that Wolf will hold into the glove hand.
So two defenses getting involved, one for the Flames, one for the Avs. Take a look at this beautiful little play by Brstevich. Play with speed, which coaching staff really wants him to do.
Nick Blankenberg was the one that got the shot off.
There, things going inside, stays outside, keeps going in, and then a shot. He's a clever little player. Listed as 5'8", but he can get up from the plate quickly.
So Jack Ashawn, that's what Kelly Hurdy announced, so make sure I make that correction as far as the pronunciation. 2:04 time of ice as this is tipped and saved by Wolf from Parker Kelly at 6:37. Shot board now even at that same number.
Parker Kelly in the slot. There's a nice deflection. Wow, that was really well done. Kelly, as you mentioned, John, having a heck of a season for the Avs. And 20 goals this year. Expect to be part of a vigorous fourth line for Colorado.
Rory Cairns off the tie-up here. We'll see who picks it up now. Connor Zary trying to pick it up near the right side boards as this goes across the flaming sea with 6:25 left to go in the first. Will be sent in as we picked up now for Weeb on his backhand. This will go in the middle of the slot. Avalanche dangerous there. Have to spin and turn now. As this will go from Nick Blankenberg. Send the pass across. Michigan man shoots. Is rifled up and blocked away by Dustin Wolf. He was going for the left side corner. And a good Flames forecheck will force the Avs to pick things back up in their own end. As Dave Hackstall's squad will go ahead and take a change. Nathan MacKinnon. Now for Martin Necas. There's a bad pass. Victor Olofsson forces the steal. He gets knocked down to a knee. And Morgan Frost, excellent puck pursuit, gets the steal. Olofsson now cross, hits the post. It did not beat Blackwood. Morgan Frost and Olofsson almost combined for a goal there, but it goes up and out of play at 5:33.
Coronato with the deflection, terrific save. And how about this quick release by Olofsson? I don't believe Blackwood got any of that, just a little bit high.
To test the toughness of the three-row Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest spring and hottest summers, windiest fall, and coldest winters, all on one track to prove these three-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Kia, movement that inspires. Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Eclipse. A once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema that helps you spend less time managing your symptoms. Eclipse can deliver real and lasting results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year. Don't use if you're allergic to Eclipse. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine treated with Eclipse. Before starting Eclipse, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. Clear your skin, it's relief. Once monthly dosing with or without topicals. You can flare less with Eclipse. Talk to your doctor about Eclipse for eczema.
Nice career night for Braden Cahill on Sunday. His first career three-point night. He got his first of the season, and maybe no one happier than the assistant coach right behind him there, Trent Cole. He gets first start of the night, and who's there to greet him in the hallway? Trent Cole, who runs the defense. He said it was just so great to see a guy that comes into the lineup sporadically throughout the year.
Braden Cahill had his first career three-point game Sunday against the Utah Mammoth. Here is Perek now off the face-off. And one-timer gets slammed all the way back. They try to get Perek quickly. Now Nichushkin with the intercept now on the line with Nick Waugh as he gets slammed near the right side boards. A little bit of a press there. Perek lost it in the middle of the slot. Olofsson immediately steals. You got Frost out there right after the TV timeout with Olofsson. As this will be chipped in now. Olofsson now trying to hunt the puck out there with Matt Gradine. And from left to right go the Avalanche. Again, Dave Haxtell on the bench because Jared Bednar was the one that took the puck to the face against the Vegas Golden Knights. Long outstretched pass. Flames on a break. This is fanned for Gradine. He had a chance there for a moment. 4:40 left to go in the first. We're still looking for the game's first goal. For Stavich, it's too far for him. Only Mana now will get the puck pickup. Long outstretch again. Looking for another breakout opportunity, this time for Joel Farabee, but the Avalanche will smell it out as Nathan MacKinnon to the left side red line. It's for Stavich. And off the lift, Martin Necas gets the steal. This goes back at the point now. Cale Makar plays it off the bank, and his shot goes wide and near the left side boards. As it's Backlund now. Try to flip it out. When I get a moment, I'll bring Ian in here. As it's Artturi Lehkonen now off the tie-up. He goes back to Sam Malinsky. He's had a wonderful year, about 50-some points as well, and a very heavy plus in the plus-minus. MacKinnon now to the right side boards for Martin Necas for Stavich with a couple of stick chops. Lehkonen rips it around the end boards. Blake Coleman picks it up. He'll pirouette. He'll buy some space and then flip it from the left to right dot. Let everybody take a change here, and this will give me an opportunity to bring in Mr. Genji. Goes toward the right side boards for Yegor Sharangovich. His pass is stolen by Ross Colton. As this will be put back in behind of Dustin Wolf one more time. Flames now trying to escape the other way. As it's Arthur Suniev. Suniev now knocked down to a knee. Try to find Zane Perek. The pass goes too hard off the inboards. And the Avalanche might have numbers. Good 5-hole save there for Dustin Wolf. Picked up in the middle of a slot. He'll hold on that one too from Parker Kelly. 3 minutes left to go in the first. How are we doing, Ian? Brent Burns takes it away from Mabe Green. And then we'll get some other camera shots here. Logan O'Connor was the one that had that latest chance, number 25. The Avalanche, when scoring first, are 41-2-6. The Flames are 20-13-4. That is a lot of wins in regulation for the Avs. Ripper for Kelly just hits the right side boards off a face-off win for Dave Hextall's squad. Long outstretched clear will work out. Little good body positioning there for the Flames as Connor Zary have to put this one around the kick plate. Here's his spin and turn now. And now the Avs try to break this one right up the gut. And back pressure support there for the Flames. We'll get this across the sea. As this is contested in the middle of the slot and flipped in now. Glebe will send this one across the end boards here for the Flames. Again, there are a lot of prospects here as Weeb will send this back around. But you got Brstevich and Weeb on defense for some of the new ones. Brstevich recalled a couple of times. Gradin gets the call up one more time in the Calgary Wranglers. And so does Rory Cairns. Cairns will look pretty good from what I've seen so far. I think he's got one of the single-digit numbers, either 6 or 8. Been able to call him out a few times. Nathan MacKinnon will spin near the right side dot. Try to chip it to himself near the right side boards as Brstevich got in his way. This is in the high slot. Nichushkin off the one touch. Try to drop it back MacKinnon near the left dot. And now it's to Nate Dogg again. He'll spin on the left side. It takes 3 Flames to try to take the puck away from him. They can't do it. But this goes just outside the zone for Brent Burns. Back to Nathan. Nathan now for 1-on-4. He tries to make a couple maneuvers, but he finally lost the puck. Brett Kulak passes it to Burns. From the left side blue line, too far from Martin Necas. He's going to get off the ice. Ole Mata now is Michael Backlund, the captaincy, can start from his own. And good touch pass. Blake Coleman try to get a backhanded reach. This is just out of the zone, the left side blue line. The Flames got to check back up. Ole Mata outstretched pass. Try to find Coleman right up the gut, but this will get deflected. Now Nichushkin settle it down. 40 seconds left to go here in the first. As this will be settled back across the decor. Cale Makar, one more shift for hand Backlund. Almost stole the puck. Now the Flames intercept across the logo. Ole Mata now. Put this one up the ice. A little bit too hard there for Joel Farabee. And Brstevich goes on his back skate and chip it away. This is just a lot of neutral zone battling right now. The Avalanche lead the shot board 10-6. But unless we get something in the final 10 seconds, we'll be scoreless. Nichushkin back at the point. Ripper goes up high. Landeskog was providing the screen. Zary will flip ends from right to left. And that will do it for the first. We're scoreless at the Saddle Dome.
Hey there, John.
How are we doing, Ian?
Well, your Tigers beat my Royals, and all I can say about my Royals is they are, good Lord, trying to scoring runs is like trying to solve advanced calculus for this team.
Yeah, it's a Rubik's Cube, isn't it?
I mean, it is unreal. I 2 games in a row, they have had the bases loaded getting groundouts. That has been by getting groundouts. They have not hit. No, that's not true. They've gotten hit with runners in scoring position, but they can never get that one hit that will open up the entire game.
No.
And it is infuriating. And dear God, Vinny Pasquantino is an unmitigated disaster, John.
Well, that just means in MLB 26, his card's about to be downgraded from what you're telling me.
Oh, it is. Do you remember when it wasn't that long ago, so I know you remember, but when Spencer Torkelson was a special kind of terrible,
Yeah.
where he would just strike out on the worst pitches imaginable.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that is Vinny, except this is year 4 Vinny.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Who should, I'm pretty, at least with Forbes, that was maybe his second, third year, maybe?
Right. Second and a half, really.
Yeah. So, with that, but this is year 4 Vinny. And it's not just the fact that he swings at pitches that no major league pitcher should ever swing at. He's supposed to be a reliable power hitting third baseman, but he is consistently being 2023, 2022, 2023, 2024 hobby bias.
Oh God, and that doesn't make me feel good at all.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? At least Hobby Baez is coming in with a 316 average, or at least that's what MLB wants.
They just got to keep Javi Baez in center field. He's rejuvenated out there.
Yeah, and and it's not just the strikeouts either. I saw this stat in their final game against the White Sox. Vinny's bat speed last year was 72 miles per hour. This season, it is 69 miles per hour.
So he's. Go ahead.
For reference, the MLB average bat speed is 71.5 miles per hour.
So you're telling me when he does make contact with the ball that he's not even hitting it hard?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No, he is hitting dribblers.
That's pitiful.
Okay. You probably missed it, but because given the fact that the Tigers, and as well as many other teams in baseball, are just difficult to watch,
right?
Because of TV. But runner on third, who have one out. There's one out on the board. All you need to do is get a ball to the outfield to tie this game against the Tigers. And this man hits a ball. Hang on, let me go ahead and keep in mind, this is Vinny Pasquantino we were talking about. This is the Pasquatch, the Italian with big arms.
Yes.
Right? Size of grapefruits, all that, all that stuff. Hang on, let me look this up. Going right to the final, to his last out, not the last out, but his last out. This man grounds out. Second baseman, Zach McKinnon throws it to first baseman. He hits a ground ball on a pitch that is so far out of the zone, it's almost in the dirt. He hits it with an exit velocity of 75 miles per hour, and it travels a distance of 17 feet at a -3-degree launch angle.
Dear God.
Hit this thing into the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know what and you know, the most infuriating, not the most infuriating, but one infuriating part is that he was the guy that called out our young hotshot rookie of the year prospect. I'm calling him that because Carter Jensen has been on an absolute heater to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny was the one that called him out for oversleeping.
I heard about that story, yes.
Buddy, this man has hit more balls than you. He has hit more doubles than you. He has hit more home runs than you. Vinny Pasquantino, let me go ahead and check before I, let me make sure that my information is accurate at the moment. Oh my Lord. This man, in 59 at-bats, has hit the ball 9 times.
Ouch.
He has hit 0 home runs, a -.4 WAR, 7 RBIs through errors and the sac flies and groundouts, scored 3 runs himself, whereas by comparison, the guy he called out for sleeping, Carter Jensen, well, would you look at that? Oh, by the way, Vinny has a 153 batting average. Whereas Carter Jensen, the guy he called out, a 238 batting average, 10 hits and 42 at-bats, 0.3 WAR with 4 home runs, and 6 runs scored, and 8 RBIs.
Yeah, it's not even in the same stratosphere.
And unfortunately, the project, but no one's going to say anything about it because the Royals don't have a bad guy. They don't. No one wants to be the toxic one, and the only ones who have enough juice to do that
Salvi.
are Canucks.
Yeah, I was going to say Salvi would be one of those guys that could definitely do it, but he won't.
He's too nice, and honestly, I should say he doesn't have the stats this season to do that. He's hitting better than Vinny, and honestly, he's actually getting on base, and not just. Oh my God. Honestly, I wonder if I should just call him Vinny Davis.
I remember Chris Davis on the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should just call him that until, because everyone keeps saying, oh, but he's always bad in April, but in May he turned it around and turned into a world beater. No. Hey, John, do me a favor, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Before the intermission is up, look at the second to last out of this game against the Royals in the top of the 9th.
I think I can do that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the amount of time has passed that I'd probably be able to view the game. I can just log in.
Right. Look at Vinny's out and look at the pitch that he hit.
Yeah, I don't think I can watch it yet, Ian. I'm just gonna go ahead and look at the box.
Oh, that was it. That was what I was.
Yeah, I thought it might have already passed as far as the time allotted, but it didn't. Yeah, I think whatever you described to me as far as the second to last out for Pascantino was very generous because I don't think it was in the bottom part of the black of the strike zone.
No,
Yeah,
like, buddy, this is the clear. This isn't even video, and this is the clearest video we've had I've ever seen. This is the most HD stuff ever. This is 4K.
yeah. No, I'll be able to see it in probably another hour. I'll definitely look at it and come back to you. I was gonna say, as far as Wednesday and Thursday, you might be in luck because I don't even think you're gonna get baseball because there's a bunch of rain that's coming in the area. It's gonna flood tonight.
Well, At least I won't have to watch my. At least I won't have to watch the offense score one run and hoping. Basically, they hope and pray that the pitchers get pitch a shutout every game because they can't score more than one run.
Yeah, and I know it doesn't work that way. I'm looking at the Tigers side of it. They're the only two other teams only have a positive differential. The one team we got swept by, the Minnesota Twins. Well, if you asked us who has the best record in the American League right now, it's actually Minnesota. I don't think that's going to last. But the Tigers are only 2-8 on the road, but they are 6-1 at home. So that's the only reason why that they sit at 8-9. They need to get the win tomorrow and then try to figure out what they're going to do against the Royals, get back to 500 at least, because it's early enough in the year. But to your point that you made earlier about the Royals, I mean, it's early enough in the year where the Minnesota Twins are in first place, and we know that's not going to last. But you just, like you said, you got to score some runs. Padres look like they've rebounded. They're 10-6. They've won 5 in a row.
And meanwhile, the Mets have lost 6 in a row, and the Rockies aren't an immediate tire fire to begin the year.
No, 6-10. I'd take that. I know they lost 4 straight games, but they're playing much better. I mean, they got a better record than the Giants right now. But I'm looking at the Mets, as you said. I mean, that's putrid considering the moves that they made. What they got, Polanco and Bichette this year, and they sit at 7-10. Looks like everybody in the NL East isn't doing all that great, with the exception of the Braves.
Yeah. Oh, and we are currently seeing what the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim look like when they have a healthy Mike Trout at their disposal.
I'm just happy to see him play healthy baseball and contributing.
Yeah.
The Astros are in last place. They're 6-11. They have the worst record in the American League. Do they have the worst? They're tied for the worst record with the Giants.
Yeah. Can't say I'm surprised because I was hearing Astros fans talk about the lack of starting pitching and the fact that they're still trotting out Lance McCullers Jr.
Let me go to your point that you just made. I'm just going to name some of these scores out loud. So some wins. The Astros won 11-9 and 9-7 against the Angels. 6-4 is another one. They also have a 12-10 loss against the Athletics, a 9-7 loss against the Rockies, a 9-6 loss against the Mariners, and an 8-7 loss against the Mariners. So, boy, you're right. They cannot pitch.
No.
Good for them.
I'm hoping they can pull it out tonight, because that's my NL team, the Pirates.
I'll get into the Pirates one second. I'm just going to put this home here. So for the Astros, I'm not sure what the first name is because I'm not going to click on it, but Burrows, an ERA starter of 6.55. Lance McCullers, actually one of the better ones in the Astros, but his ERA is 5.87. Weiss, 7.36. The only one they have is the Wayne State product that I know so well, and Hunter Brown, who's a stud. But that's it. Christian Javier has an ERA of about 13. And even for Brian Abreu, he's got an ERA of 16. That is awful.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back into this play-by-play, and then we will wax poetically about some other stuff, because I know we got some NBA playing games and a few other things. So let's get back into it. We're a scoreless game, 1950 left to go in the second. Joining here with you alongside Ian Genji. Again, I did not expect that all of the playoff races, essentially, with the exception of a couple teams that are still jockeying for position, but all of them are decided already, with still the 2 games left to go for most teams. But we will be starting NHL playoffs this weekend, which will be a lot of fun. It'll begin the same time as the NBA. Still waiting to see who the Pistons are going to play, but I'm expecting to be working this weekend. I can't talk about too much of it because I think there are some things up in the air, but hopefully I'll be able to give you some more details soon. As this is picked up in the middle of a slot. Great save, Wolf. As this is settled back down for Cale Makar. Not a Nathan MacKinnon. It's a penalty hand in the air against the Flames to begin the second frame. Back pass. There's a spin and turn. Necas hits Wolf up high toward the left side of the pad. Nichushkin now, as this goes harmlessly through the paint. It's touched by the Flames, and Colorado's going to get their second look at the man advantage. Zeri is going to get a hook on Martin Necas, and that's what's going to draw the infraction. They did not have a shot on goal, did either team in their initial power play. And there's a young Avs fan that's got a giant plate of nachos and cheese. He's making me hungry here. So again, it officially showed it on Sportsnet, no shots. As Nathan MacKinnon touches off the right side in glass, he was already out there on a shift, but out the power play, he's going to pretty much get a 3-minute shift. Nick Waugh off the recollect near the left side bumper. Here's Cale. As this will be settled back down here for MacKinnon. Now to Martin Necas. One-timer from a sharp angle. And Nathan MacKinnon will get saved by Dustin Wolf off the glove hand. Picked up now by the Flames. Try to slam this one off the kick plate, but it's just held in as it's Cale Makar. Now from Necas. This goes back to Cale in the high slot. His slap pass will get deflected, and the Flames with Blake Coleman will always be able to get off the ice for Ryan Huska's squad. As Necas will pirouette, pick the puck back up now. Cale will sidestep, toe drag, try to go right to the net, and this is intercepted toward the left side dot. Picked up now for MacKinnon off the slap pass. Here's Cale, high slot near the left circle. Now to MacKinnon. MacKinnon pivots, sends it toward the net, looking for a Landeskog tip, and the Flames will at least stick this out of the way. As this will be recollected now for Joel Farabee. He needs some reinforcements. Cross-ice feed, wrister up in the catching glove of Mackenzie Blackwood. That will at least force an ozone draw on the Avs power play. Blake Coleman with a shot block there on Cale Makar. Again, it's the third and final meeting of the regular season. These teams have played 3 times really in a span of 2 weeks. This is the first one that we've been able to cover. It's been a long time since I covered a Flames game. I did get the notice from Cooper a couple of weeks ago that his schedule availability is going to open up in May. So that probably makes it to where him and I can cover a game either as a duo in the mix unless we get everyone here. But I do want to try to get a duo cast in with Cooper because it's certainly been a while. I need to play catch up at some point. 17:05 left to go here in the second. Ian Genji has once again joined me here. John, I'm your play-by-play man. Gracefully, Ian always likes to hang out and talk about a lot of stuff. As this is picked up now, and now this is Frost rebound. Sharangovich off a sharp angle, and Blackwood able to make a couple of saves there. As Ross Colton flip ends from the right to left eye. Outstretched pass. As it was Tyson Gross, I think, was the one that got turned away by Blackwood initially, and then Sharangovich. You had a couple of breaks from some of the newcomers here in Tyson Gross and Nadir Suniev in the first and second that have been turned away by McKenzie. Wedgwood played last night in the victory for the Avalanche over Edmonton in that overtime. Krustevich finishes his hit. His opening near the left side dot, that was Gradine. They go the long way to the former Av and Olofsson. Here's Matvey. He'll spin near the right side. He's held against the right side glass. Olofsson now chose to help to pry it loose as Morgan Frost will give chase. 15:50 left to go in the second as this will be looped in. The left side dot. Knocked away from Zane Parak, but he is able to get it out to the left side red line. Morgan Frost slows, stops, shoots. 5-hole state Olofsson cross pass, but that doesn't hit anybody except an open side of the backboards. As this will rush the other way for Joel Kiviranta. Got Kulak, Kiviranta to the net, but the stick gets knocked away, and so there's a pass attempt by the Flames. Morgan Frost, good bumper support. Try to push this one ahead off the flip that Big Adam Klapka. Zeri slows it down with the stick. Klapka got to get back on side. Zeri checks up at the last moment, and this will be rolling. And now Dustin Wolf has to play it near the left side boards. Oli Mata had it for a moment as this goes back to Ashan. Now Jack Drury on his back skate here for Logan O'Connor. Drury now gets it back to the point. Here's Ashan. Ripper deflected. This is saved by Wolf. Slowly off the redirect, try to get picked up by the Flames. They got some work to do. Here is a backhanded power move, and Logan O'Connor gets denied. This is right on the middle of the slot, and the Flames steal. Shopboard 13-10. It's been a pretty fun game so far. Long clear from 80 feet will have to be held by Blackwood as we get a stoppage. Brett Burns had it knocked away for Tyson Gross, and the Gross on his backhand trying to shove it 5-hole for Mackenzie Blackwood, according to the replay. He was just turned away. And then a couple of redirects. Logan O'Connor, he made a good toe drag. He tried to make a move to the backhand, and Ross Colton was denied by Weeb out in front. 14:31 in the second, and we'll have to do this draw one more time. Michael Backlund, the captaincy for the Flames, will get set to take it. And again, I know this isn't a shock to anyone, but if you look at some of the Flames' top point producers, you still have Rasmus Anderson, Nazem Kadri, and Jonathan Huberdeau inside the top 7, and they haven't been on the roster for a long time. So you got a lot of guys that Matthew Coronato not playing today have about 44 points, which leads the team. I mean, MacKinnon's got pretty much that many in goals. So it's just the points have been dwarfed. But I still think upcoming in the next couple of years, you see the Flames, I would think, get a lot closer to playoff contention. I can't put them all the way in it after 2 seasons, but I do think with the prospects they have, and when you have Craig Conroy running it, they're going to look pretty good. Tip there from Farabee. Coleman right up the gut. That was a great save. Coleman with a little bit of a shrug as Blackwood got a piece of it. We'll take a break. 13:48 in the second.
Pirates could not pull it out of the end, but you know what? They're still 10-7 and leading the division. So that's okay.
Yeah, they still are. That's a good start for them. I see Alec in here now. Get him in here.
Sir. And in the meantime, the NBA play-in has started with the Miami Heat versus the Charlotte Hornets, and it has gone into overtime.
Wow.
That was an insane shot from Cody White.
Right now, it's a $123 to 118 with 115 left to go in OT. These games are on Prime Video tonight. That's why I can't cover those. And then I think we got Trailblazers Suns after this.
Oh wow! Look at that! Immediately after Cody White is traded from the Wolves, he's a decent role player. How absolutely shocking!
Oh man. Oh man. How's everyone doing right now?
I'm doing all right, Alec. It looks like you're locked in, if I'm correct, for the Battle of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and everything between the Flyers and the Penguins. So hopefully I'll be able to join you for one of those.
Hopefully, so honestly, Buffalo's first playoff game is going to be a movie.
I think so too.
They'll be facing up against the Bruins, by the way. Carolina draws Ottawa, so the East playoff field is set.
I'll say this officially too, and then you jump in. I went 1 for 4 in my predictions as far as the free agency frenzy. The only one I got correct was the Utah Mammoth making the playoffs.
Oh my goodness.
None of mine. No, that's not true. One prediction I had was correct, and that was the Washington Capitals missing the NHL playoffs. But where I went wrong, the Blackhawks did not make the playoffs. The Blue Jackets did not make the playoffs, and the carcass of the Oilers made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, only because the Pacific is just so awful as this puck gets iced. I think we're still waiting on who's going to get the third seed in the Pacific. That still might be up in the air depending on what happens with the LA Kings, if I'm not mistaken. But
I thought, wait, really? I thought the field was set.
all the playoff teams are set. I think it does depend on what happens with what the Ducks do, because right now the Wild's up 2-1, and those points between the Kings are pretty close. It's 13 minutes left to go here in the second. I'm going to get back into the play-by-play in a moment. I just want to make sure if I can correct myself here. So right now, it's the Kings with 89 points and the Ducks with 90. So, yeah, the Kings have 2 games, and I'll have to see what their score is if they're playing today, but they could definitely make something happen if Sharangovich gets robbed right near the right side of the dot by Mackenzie Blackwood.
SMC right now, I just jumped back in. I just signed in on Amazon Prime, by the way, just watching the Heat and Hornets. But what a shot from Yegor Sharangovich on the right side.
Well, I appreciate you joining in, Alec. Again, it's been a while since we've all been able to really work together since the Olympics. But hopefully I'll be able to get some playoff games in. As I've said, I'm still trying to figure out what my schedule might be, as this one's tipped beautifully, Blake Coleman. And it looks like the Flames are on the board first.
Oh, a slow-moving shot that Michael Backlund fired from the right point as he was skating this out. And Blake Coleman was masterfully, as he was falling down, tipping this into the front of the goal. Colorado does have a crucial decision to make for Game 1, whether it be Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood for the playoffs. Right now, they are playing their starters here, which I think is a risky strategy for near Colorado, but they want to get the chemistry up before anything. Rest versus rust.
And again, I want to do this for the official reporter. I know I called it on the space, but this one, as Alec mentioned, was tipped by Coleman. Pretty good opportunity there. And the Flames draw first blood. This is the third and final meeting between the two. Wanted to get at least one of these in because I usually like covering the Colorado-Calgary matchup. I do think Cooper had mentioned to me too that he's going to be available by the time the calendar turns to May. So hopefully I'll be able to get some of those games in together, if not as a duo or however we do it, as it's 12:15 left to go in the second. But I agree to Alec's point. Having all these starters, it was listed that Makar was kind of questionable to go. As Paul, fresh off a 3-point game, his shot gets deflected. I would have elected rather not. Again, if you'd missed it the other day on ABC, I have some of the Xfinity contract rights, so that's why I couldn't see the game. But Jared Bednar took a puck to the face, and it's Dave Hextall in behind the bench. He was normally the Seattle Kraken man. He's the head coach for the Avs, and Kiviranta had a break. He fired it wide as it's 11:35 left to go in the second. Outstretch, try to find Olofsson, dangerous pass, and here's a combination. Ross Colton, watch this one go to the corner. This goes back to D. I think Blankenberg's shot got held by Dustin Wolf.
You mentioned Victor Olofsson. He was part of the trade return in the Makar and Kadri trade. And he's fitting in his role with Calgary as this rebuild continues onward.
Yeah, I like the chance, Alec. Again, it's been a long time since I covered the Flames here, but you got Rory Cairns, Matt Begredin, Zane Perek. You got a lot of other kids that are playing today, so you get a chance to glimpse into the future of the Calgary Wranglers and the Calgary Flames. And I think right now, depending on what you want to say, how much Colorado's got to play for, as Tyson Gross takes this draw, but I think they're doing quite well so far.
Yeah, they are, and watch for Zane Perek, future #1 defenseman of the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, and he was such a pivotal piece for the Canadian team in the World Juniors. You know that his trajectory is going to shoot way north as far as his production. He had all this stuff alongside, I believe it was with the Spitfires, well over 100 points. And he's got nowhere else to play right now except the NHL. He's just going to continue to get more time. Ustaevich, the Washington Township, Michigan native, lost the puck, and a great save. Blankenberg let it go. The Michigan man, this goes right to Wolf. It got tipped. He's got it in the glove.
Dave Hextall is letting Nick Blankenberg get some reps. If he does well, we can see him returning to Colorado in some capacity. We'll see how it figures out because Brett Kulak is a pending free agent this offseason. So if Blankenberg does well and impresses this coaching staff, we could see him back.
I could say this too. I agree with you there. And I didn't realize Sam Malinsky was already 27, but they really turned Sam Malinsky into a pretty excellent player, Alec.
And they did. And he fit nicely next to Devon Taves on the second pairing, but he slotted Kulak up to the top pairing.
Once we get another stoppage, I want to get your thoughts on something because I thought I got some news for one of the former Michigan Wolverines. As this is picked up here for Cale Makar. Outstretched, touched by Necas. Necas is 1 point away from a hundo. As this is a stutter step. Oh, it's deflected, and Necas can't put it in. White Claude was right there near the left side of the blue line. He's fit in quite well since coming over from the Vegas Golden Knights. Walensky shoots, and Wolf's got it. And I think I heard this. I'll get your thoughts on it. TJ Hughes from Michigan, I think, is also signing with the Avalanche.
Oh, another good addition for the Colorado Avalanche. One of the free Hobie Baker finalists for the Michigan Wolverines. As he impressed with the Wolverines in their run. And this could be another addition for I believe this is I can't remember the name of the Colorado AHL team, but their AHL affiliate will be in good hands with him attitude there for.
Is it still the Eagles?
It is the Eagles. Thank you for reminding me.
As it goes to the left side of the boards now. It's a face-off win here for Landeskog. Paul has this one go back to the point. It's kept in now. Brent Burns off the deflection. Far move goes in behind the net. Brett Kulak. Take this one on the left side. Rister deflected. Hits Wolf up high. He's down underneath him. Snow Angel has got the puck as we get a stoppage at 9:48.
That was stressful. And meanwhile, when Charlotte's what turned into a 5-point Hornets lead is now a 1-point Heat lead in a span of seconds.
Let me get the refresh, and he'll give us the update, Mr. Nava, as this continues. 8.7 left to go in OT. Heat lead 126-125. And as we go into the commercial break, if anything else hits, you can take the precedent. Let us know what happens.
Yeah, it was 3 straight made free throws from Tyler Hero. He was fouled on a 3-point shot, and that's what you cannot do if you're the Hornets.
No, and correct me here, Alec, because I just want to make sure, just for myself, in the 9th, 10th place game that we're watching right now, whoever loses, correct, they're out.
Yeah, whoever loses is out. The winner of this game moves on to face the loser between Philadelphia and the 8th seed.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I get that clarification on 9 and 10, because it's been a while since I looked at that. If these weren't on Prime, I probably would be covering this right now. Go ahead.
Oh, just laid it up. 2 seconds. 1 second. Davion Mitchell rejected. And the Charlotte Hornets win an amazing game.
Wow.
Oh my. This is real. This is real, Charlotte. This is real. From being absolutely dead to begin the year to now you have you have won a playoff game, technically, but you know what? Count it. This is your biggest victory since this is Charlotte, this is your biggest victory, sure.
It was in the LaMelo Ball era, that is. Oh my goodness. What a game. They'll face the loser between the Sixers and the Orlando Magic.
If the Hornets get in, Alec, and let's say that they're the 8th seed and they play the Pistons, should I be a little nervous?
Admittedly, the Hornets are a bad matchup for the Pistons. The Hornets are riding tons of momentum heading into this play-in tournament, and if they make it to the playoffs outright, the Pistons could be in for some work. But Cade Cunningham's going to be the difference maker. We don't know when he's coming back.
Okay, I just wanted to say that openly because I've heard Charles Barkley say the same thing, and you're telling me the same thing, and I don't want to believe that something's going to happen that shouldn't. But I will say, if the Pistons end up playing the Knicks, I do think that's a coaching downgrade when you go from Thibodeau to Mike Brown. I'm not really worried about the Knicks anymore.
Well, here's the problem that Detroit would face if they're facing Charlotte. The biggest problem, Detroit has some manner of expectation. And right now, the Charlotte Hornets, they're not just playing with house money. They came in with $1 to their name and have hit the jackpot at least 5 times.
I think that's well said. Suniav had a good breakout up to it. It's the second time in as many periods that he's got a partial break off of a really good pass for the Flames. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the kids here against the Avs. Here is another breakout that gets knocked away toward the left side of the blue line. This goes back now to Cale Makar. Cale will get it back. He will make a chip pass and try to chase it. Get off a stick lift, throw it at the net, scores! What a play by Cale Makar! Sets it up, and we are tied. That's Artturi Lekhonen.
He was right in front at the bottom of the left circle, ready to receive that pass from Cale Makar. And the Avalanche, they're knowing that playoffs are on the horizon. It's nothing but business for them. You know that these two teams have already locked up their spots. The Avs already have the President's Trophy trying to avert that curse. And Makar, he tipped it over to himself, far side the boards. A nice play by numero 8, right after the punching of the stick from 28. I believe that is Zach Whitewell. It is the former Vegas Golden Knights. And right on the tape to Lekhonen, and we're tied.
Man, that is. You talk about maybe a game time decision for Cale Makar, and then you split the defense, you win the chip and chase right side boards, shovel it out where you expect your forward to be. And again, it's really easy to play with confidence over the Avs when you got someone like that that can activate. Just get to the spot, probably scoring. And that was the case there for Artturi Lekhonen. as he gets his 21st, 11:25 from Makar and Necas. Another rolling vulcanized rubber here. Up the spin and turn. And now the Avs are really putting up the heat. That's a pun intended against the Flames. As Sean lost it. And this is picked up now. Klapka now will chase him left side. He is dwarfing a Sean here. Sean is about 5'6". Adam Klapka is at least another entire foot taller than that. As it's 7:45 left to go in the second. It's another penalty against the Flames, so it'll be the third power play opportunity for the Avalanche, who are 0 for 2 so far. As Blackwood vacates the goal crease, and we got a 6-on-5 touch pass, and this will be sticked away. This is picked up by Suniev, but it will be a power play upcoming for the Avs.
And Colorado, one of their main concerns this season was their power play. Despite being the best team in the league regular season wise,
Right.
their power play is bottom half of the league, which is rare for any team winning the President's Trophy. They got to figure that out and fast.
Do you think something to that, Alec? I know 5-on-5, it's going to slow down a little bit in the playoffs, but you'd have to imagine you got 16 teams and their power play's got to at least be 8 or 9. It can't be toward the bottom of the playoff side.
Yeah, at least for Colorado, middle of the pack is good for
Right.
us.
Because you still think you're going to get pretty decent 5-on-5 chances considering what you got. Lane to Scott, won it. This goes back to Cale Makar, so he's already back out there with the power play time. Probably the same thing for Nathan MacKinnon. Makar, left side blue line. Gets this now to Renee Dog. Little dive slide away, and the Avs are going to have to deal with some defense here. Blake Coleman off the 2-on-1. Coleman cross pass. It hit the post. It hit the post. It didn't go in. That was so close there as Coleman was trying to throw it, and it bounced off the left side of the red crossbar. It's picked up now for Backlund, and he overskates. Coleman now sends it behind the inboards, and that goes up and out of play. I got to get another look at that one.
Inside of the post. Ouch. And that's off the 2-on-1 that MacKinnon had that one bounce off his stick, right off his edge. And Coleman, who, make no mistake about it, did the cross pass to Michael Backlund, who had a wide open lane to shoot it. He was so close to making this in, but it hit the inside of the post, right off of Blackwood. Ouch.
It slid through the legs of Blackwood and then went out the other side and hit the other post. I almost did a Doc Emmerich and messed up my voice. I got to be careful here.
No. That was great. Oh my God! And then you just deflated like a balloon being squeezed.
You know, I guess you know what happens. I guess what happens is I've covered so many of these games. I know Cooper started with his own team, and I kind of jumped in. You guys have all been here with me. We've covered a lot of games together with all of us. It's kind of my adopted team now. As I watch, the Red Wings go through their rebuild, and I made a question. I threw a joke out there. It's going to be a 2-man advantage for the Colorado Avalanche, but who makes the playoffs first, the Red Wings or the Flames?
Oh, I guess I know the Red Wings are one step away, but it's going to take a lot of measures for them to get over that hump at this point. But 5-on-3, and Colorado, they did call a timeout to get set.
Because I'm going to be honest here, I don't think the Flames are going to be more than a couple of years away from starting to be a serious playoff threat. They might not make it, but I expect them to start ascending across the standings if these kids continue to work out. Nathan MacKinnon, one-timer post for Marty Necas. As this goes back now to Cale Makar. Here's MacKinnon. Full stutter step. Left side, dot cross ice speed again. And Necas is robbed by Wolf.
Same exact play. Two different outcomes. One done outside goal post, the other one a save by Dustin Wolf. And Nathan MacKinnon and Marty Necas, they do like the chemistry that they have formed ever since the acquisition. Speed is their game, but here wasn't the speed. For MacKinnon, it was the deception, the stick fakes, and all of that to set up these few back-to-back plays.
I think he got everything he could have hoped for when you got Marty Necas in the mix for Mikko Rantanen. I mean, it's a point away from 100 here. He could get it right now. Necas flips it across MacKinnon. Here is a sauce pass. Doesn't get over the Flames defense. And this will be flipped back down to Mackenzie Blackwood. 35 seconds left to go in the two-man advantage. And we talk about Colorado's woes on the power play. They really got to score here as it's MacKinnon. He can lurch near the middle of the circles. He elects to pass to Necas. Makar, Necas, fan on the 1 tee. Picked up now, back around the end boards from Lehkonen. Here's Makar. Slap pass, left side dot. High slot Makar. Another one-timer for Necas. Goes off the outside of the cage. Martin settles it down. Here's Cale. Slap pass goes off the end boards. And Calgary does not get it out, although one of the guys comes out of the box. 40 seconds left to go in the power play. Play at the net. And this will be recollected for a moment for Marty Necas. Top side. It's Cale Makar to the net again, and Dustin Wolf sees that all the way. He'll hold at 5:13. This game's been pretty darn entertaining so far.
It feels like Colorado is doing the same play over and over again,
Yeah.
hoping that the result is different. Just spam one-timers to Marty Necas, hoping that it finally clicks. Well, it didn't in this time around. The more that they do that, it feels that the more Dustin Wolf is reading that play.
I agree with you. I think that also shows, Alec, to your point of why the Avalanche are toward the bottom tier third on the power play. You got so many players that can be so creative. It's just kind of mind-boggling. You see the same play from the left dot over and over, just like spamming the B button and trying to get slap shots. You just can't do that with a unit like this.
I mean, come on, try something new.
Ross Colton can't win the draw, and Braden Pahal, fresh off his three-point game, clears this one down the ice to Mackenzie Blackwood. Took a long time to get that pass out. Here's Sam Malinsky. He goes from right to left. Malinsky now safely across the left side red line. Nichushkin will get away from a check. Brent Burns up the spin and leave toward the left side boards. Cross ice feed, good spot to shoot. And Wolf has this one get blocked in front of him, and the Flames kill a 5-on-3. As this is Olofsson now back on the ice, and crowd gets to their feet. They're saluting the Flames. Again, they got one more before they close out the season of the Settle Dome against the LA Kings. And now Colorado has iced the puck. My goodness.
Oh, now we speak of the LA Kings, last team in, and we remember one of the last times in which they were the last team into the playoffs. They won the Stanley Cup back in 2012. But this time around, the view is different. It's more sentimental than anything. Perhaps one last ride for Anze Kopitar. And this could be the team Colorado that they draw in the first round.
Yes, it could be. And you talk about some of that sentimentality. When I saw part of that speech there for Anze Kopitar when he's just addressing the fans, and I almost got misty-eyed a little bit. It's going to be interesting not seeing him part of the LA Kings anymore. You think about guys like Jonathan Quick and Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty, and it feels like part of our childhood is almost going away. No Marc-Andre Fleury, and the list goes on and on.
Yep, the new line of teams will be shortly under. By the way, real quick, we're going to draw, I don't know if you were drawing comparison between Calgary and Detroit just overall, but John, I'm going to some more salt into the wound.
Do it.
It's going to, Calgary is very close, and what helps is they still own their first round pick this draft.
Yeah, well, we don't because they gave it to you for Justin Falk. How did that work out? This is sent behind the inboards now for Dustin Wolf. Hey, it wasn't my decision to make the trade because I wouldn't have done it. As it's picked up now to the left side dot. Here's an outstretched feed. Klapka has it knocked away from him. 3:05 left to go in the second. Joining with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji. We got the trio here with us for a game maybe that doesn't mean all that much. But again, since I can't cover the basketball games, I haven't covered the Flames in a while. Wanted to check in with the Avs too because I really like covering this matchup in particular. As it's sent back in behind the inboards now for Sharangovich. Here's a looping pass. Does not hit Blackwood on the other side of the crease. and we get another whistle. Might be another penalty call.
Yep, the referee has gone in front of the penalty box, of course, to announce the penalty. So when we come back, we'll find out who the penalty is going to be on, and then later, it'll be the power play coming up. So, John, you mentioned you wanted to ask me something. So what was it about?
Well, I was thinking about this stuff for TJ Hughes, but we talked about that. But in your honest opinion, I'm just going to throw this out there because I was jokingly thinking about it. Are the Flames farther ahead than the Red Wings?
Okay, for this, I have to say the Red Wings are in a position where they think they may be close, but they're not there yet. The Flames, they're in the phase where they realize, well, we overachieved last season. And this year is more of what we expected from them last season. So a snap back to reality, but the gravity hasn't gone sideways for them. They're right where they need to be, right in the area where they would be getting a better draft position. But they're coming off getting both Colin Potter and Cole Reshney in last year's draft. This year, in a deeper draft, we'll see how they turn things around.
I'm going to say this because I agree with all your points. I'm looking at the Flames record right now at home. Just in particular, 22, 12, and 5. I think they're 8-0-1 since early portion of March. If we look at the NHL standings, the Red Wings are 21, 16, and 4. The Flames have a better home record than the Red Wings do. That gives me big pause. And again, I've talked about this too, and I will save the fire and brimstone for next year. I saw a lot of comments about whether it was Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Sider. If you got to trade one, pick one. I don't want to trade anybody as far as that core or even John Gibson. I don't think that's the problem. I do think they're one move away from probably doing something. It's got to be substantial, like I talked about Robertson. But really, what I want is replacing the bottom six on the forward lines that can't score. You got to make a couple moves there.
Yes, several. It's going to be several moves for Detroit to get over the hump, but something substantial. The problem that the Red Wings have is that beyond Patrick Kane, there's no one else on the scene that can make up for the drop-off on offense that he has, even for his lack of defense.
Right, and I say the same thing to you too, where you talk about maybe the lack of stuff for Patrick Kane as it's always been, but he's still got enough goal-scoring prowess now where I don't think you can afford to let him leave.
Yeah, you keep him, even for when you make a trade for, say, Jason Robertson, for that matter.
Here's an outstretch. Makar steals. Makar dangles, and he is robbed by Wolf.
Look at the speed Cale Makar has down the middle. Now, Dustin Wolf saw this all the way going down the middle, and Makar, he reads the pass and generates the breakaway for himself. Watch, a good chance for Colorado to generate, and maybe a sneak peek for the postseason for whoever they face between Utah or LA.
Backhand and almost tried to slide it 5-hole. That was a pretty good play there as Ella Cole. I would love to see. I don't want to be unfair to Colorado, but if it's Colorado, Utah, I think that one could be high scoring and pretty darn fun, all things considered. As it's 1:30 left to go and the Flames power play again. Colorado did not score on a 5-on-3 as we sit 1-1. A pair of goals in this period. Again, I'll have to make sure I mark that in my story. Zane Parak cross-ice speed is deflected, and Parak now got to go back.
I was talking with you, John.
Suniev now will put this back around the left side boards, as this will be sent all the way down. And Calgary now gets a chance to touch. The World Junior product of Zane Parak for Team Canada will send this one in, as this is off the backboards now. Lekhonen, he's trying to play some defensive work as Sharangovich gets denied. And right to left go the Colorado Avalanche in the white jerseys with the cerulean pants and the maroon tops. Too far there for Lekhonen. And off the back pass as Rory Cairns will send this back to D. Probably work his way to the left side and start in transition for Ryan Huska's squad. Here's a sauce pass. A little bit too far. Olofsson has to slam it around the kick plate. Here's Cairns. High slot for Stavich. flip this one across. Ripper Connor's area back to Hunter. Brustevich make a pass. This one is knocked away and flipped back down. So the Flames won't get anything going on their power play, and neither did the Colorado Avalanche, as we got 45 seconds left to go in this middle frame. Shot board starting to get slanted now for Colorado. They played last night in the overtime win against the Edmonton Oilers. They led the shot board 27-16, but it's a 1-1 tie. White Claw takes a hit. This stays in the zone now. Picked up here for Coleman, and Backlund throws it in. Backlund now, here for Klapka. He'll use that big body, try to save it, throw it out in front. It's White Cloud. He fakes a slap shot, doesn't shoot. Flames passed up an opportunity there. Down at 12, they'll have to just slam it on the right side of the glass, and then the rebound attempt goes wide, but they were open in the middle of the slot. They elected not to shoot. Pass goes over one of the Flames, and that will end the second. It's tied at 1.
How did they not shoot at the 5-on-5 chance before, or that sharp angle chance to end this second period? I mean, you were wide open at the top for Zach Whitecloud. And then this was fired. This was not even fired. Not even a single shot from Zach Whitecloud that time.
And now it looks like he went to the room early. I don't know if he got banged up or anything. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. It was right in the middle of the slot. I'm sitting there waiting. The play's not going to develop anymore. And if you wait any more seconds, then Colorado's going to close out and stop the defensive effort. So that's why it's 1-1.
Yes. Still.
So John, when it comes to free agency matters, we talked about this last broadcast or a couple broadcasts ago. You know my position. The first, in my opinion, the first thing that needs to be addressed, and not the first, that the immediate second, backup goaltender. Because you cannot put all your eggs into the John Gibson basket. This is not John Gibson of old.
He can't have, 15, 16 straight starts that he did. And again, I agree with you. We talk about Alex Line. He had one. You let him go. That was probably one of those Steve Eisman fumbles. You can't blame Chris Illich for that. Although I try to be fair about who I criticize, but you got to bring that back. But the Red Wings have been slow in terms of Sebastian Kosa. Or now I think they have another goaltender that they like, and Michael Postava, but I don't think he's as far along. But are they really ready to go Sebastian Kosa? Because it seems like Cam Talbot's days are done.
Yeah. Also, what is the development trajectory of Trey Augustine going to look like? Because I feel Augustine, the competition between Kosa and Augustine is going to look very interesting given Augustine's success in NCAA.
Augustine has been about as good as advertised for Nightingale's squad, Alec, as you mentioned. And I know he's still young, but you would think out of training camp he would get every opportunity to at least see what he could do, correct?
Yeah, you would.
So that's probably where they're going to go if they go with the kids. Go ahead, Ian.
Especially because you have no backup netminder.
No.
And quite frankly, there are no good options on the free agent market to be your backup netminder. And I mean, you're trying to get to the playoffs, but truthfully, a backup netminder, what are you going to lose by putting one of the kids back there behind John Gibson? I mean, really.
You're not going to do any worse than what Cam Talbot provided this year when he was essentially giving up 4 or 5 each time. Again, he was good when he was here initially, but there just isn't much. And then they bounced around in between Ville Husso and Alex Nedeljkovic, who have bounced around. They really haven't had anybody that have been able to be a primary or have a backup when they needed one. That's kind of been instability for the Red Wings.
I wouldn't, as a Blues fan, I wouldn't recommend this, but in a desperation move, you could always always had the enigma that it's Jake Allen be your backup netminder if you want to make a trade with the New Jersey Devils. What do you recommend? But, if you really don't think that any of the kids are ready.
I'm going to say this, and then I'll let Alec jump in because we can go between a multitude of anywhere with the Red Wings. I would be appreciative if you guys keep me on life support for that. But I would say for Gibson, I don't want his regular season workload exceeding 50. I think a 50-32 split makes sense.
That's what I would do. I agree with you.
So let's we can go through some of the play-in stuff too, but I'm going to look at some of these possible matchups, and you guys can just spitball at me what you think is going to happen. But I look and see the Suns lead 33-31 on the Trailblazers. Denny Advia has 4 points in 9 minutes. For the Suns, it's Devin Booker with 12, Jalen Green with 10. As you can watch that one on Prime Video. Again, as Alec called on the end of it, alongside Ian, Charlotte won 127-126 earlier today. But as I look at the NHL standings, I'm just going to presume that they hold. I won't try to make anything too difficult as far as who's going to play who. But we talked about Dallas and Minnesota earlier, and Alec had that one going 7. If we get Oilers Ducks, let's just say we do in this 2-3, are the Oilers on upset alert?
A couple of weeks ago, I would have confidently said yes, but now I'm going to say the Ducks look like they're the easiest out of any of the top 3 seeds in any division. They're showing like they're playing like a young team and an inexperienced one. Sure, Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba will give you the experience, and so does Frank Petrano, knowing they're all former Rangers. But the Ducks have slowed down so much that you think that they'll be running several laps behind the lead lap car. Jeez. If you're trying to make this a track meet, how much are you willing to get burned by Connor McDavid, who's been on a tear without Leon Draisaitl? The Oilers look like they're finding form without Draisaitl, and with Draisaitl coming back soon for the playoffs, those the Oilers, they may be taking their anger out on some poor Ducks. Oh, I feel for those guys.
I would agree, except for the fact, the only thing I will say is that I trust Dosal more than I trust any of the Oilers netminders.
Oh.
I trust him to at least backstop, to at least bail out the Ducks in 2 games at least.
Yes, I also see that.
Yeah, and if the Ducks have any modicum of offense, they beat the Oilers. I said the Oilers would get swept, and I'll walk back a little bit and say they get beat in 5 games.
To Alec's point, Ian, and I'm not piling on you because I would have said the same thing until I looked at what Alec just brought up. It's 2-8-2 in the last 10 in the mix of the Ducks. They lost 4-3 to the Canucks, 5-0 to the Predators. They lost 2 games to the Maple Leafs. They got shut out by the Blues 5-0, and then they lost another high-scoring game against the Blues. So if they continue to leak like that against a team like the Oilers, I think even the Oilers would be happy to be playing against them if that's their matchup.
Oh, yeah. Also, take into account, Anaheim's defense is bad.
Yeah.
Oh, guess who's here? What's going on, Cooper?
Mr. Hopkins.
Surprise, gentlemen. Can you hear me? I'm in the car.
How are we doing? Yes.
Loud and clear. It's good to hear your voices. I'm in typical fashion coming in very late, not only in this game, but in the season. I love what you guys are talking about. I know the Oilers are always a hot topic, but lots Lots of interesting stuff happening in the NHL world these days, boys, and the Flames are trying to go out on a good note here, playing a pretty good one against Colorado, tied up at 1.
Yeah, as I've been watching this game and commentating on it, Cooper, I get a chance to watch a lot of the kids today, and I see Artturi having a really couple good chances off some breaks on the forward side. Rory Cairns gets called up, Gradin, Zane Parak with a couple of spins, Brustevich. It's kind of what we were hoping to see at the beginning of the year with a better record, but I'm seeing it now at the end, and they're playing well, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, and don't let me hijack I know it's the second intermission, don't let me hijack the conversation. You're going over playoff matchups and predictions, is that what I was hearing?
Yeah, and I was going to say, at least Cooper, we got one of our predictions correct. I said I only went 1 for 4. I think we all had the Utah Mammoth in, so we at least got that one right.
I like it. I have a friend of mine here in Southern California was not a believer in the Kings, and John, well, really, guys, you all know I'm by no means am I a Kings diehard, and it's all Flames all the way. But I did try to reassure him, my friend Eric down here. I said, you know what? Those Kings are going to sneak in and give Kobe a chance, and they did just that. My question to you, and you may have already covered it, do any of you three think that the Kings can win a series in these playoffs?
Oh.
Go ahead, John.
May someone help them. If they do face Colorado, Lord help their souls.
I agree. I agree 100%.
But you know what though? You know what? Anything can happen because Alec and I'm about to bring him up, Alec. We've been maniacally laughing and losing our minds ever since this team clinched the playoff spot. And this is why I think it's possible for the Kings to win a playoff series. The freaking Philadelphia Flyers are in the playoffs. How are they here? How?
Yeah, they've been playing well.
By the way.
Yeah.
How are they here?
I'm not going to go ahead and say anything too confident with the Kings. Maybe I can give them a game. Maybe I can give them 2. But they're going to be cannon fodder to the Avalanche. And again, you're not going to get any apologies from me when you talk about Ken Holland. But we already know that from me. But for the Flyers, I said this earlier in the free agency frenzy when I had all of you guys in here. I respected the hell out of Rick Tocchet. And if you're able to give enough and you have that kind of a coach, kind of shows you probably why they shouldn't got rid of him in Vancouver.
Man, oh man, John, I feel for you. I saw your tweet and I sensed the frustration. You're still a professional. You boys are always professional. But you know what? Man, oh man, those Detroit Red Wings. I did think, maybe I was silly to do so. I thought they would also make it in this year. But boy, was I wrong.
I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say this early to you all, gentlemen. I know, but the Fire and Brimstone chat is official next year if they don't make it. But in my free agency frenzy for this year, and hopefully I get Cooper on that again, and all of you guys will get the notes and squared away. I'll get that taken care of. I'm picking the Red Wings to make it this year. If they don't make it, that's what's going to then instill the Fire and Brimstone chat. So you heard it here first. I'm picking the Red Wings to make it in 26 and 27. And if they don't, expect Fire and Brimstone.
Yeah, it's guillotine time if
Yeah.
they don't make it next season, yeah, for sure.
Oh, by the way, I just want to make note of this. This is the first time all 4 of us have been in a room since
Stanley Cup Finals? Probably?
Yeah.
That's what I always believe, yes.
That is correct. I forget which game it was. Was it game 3 or 4?
Yeah, it was game 3.
Yeah, okay, my mind still works. It's true.
I had Cooper in on all of these, and that's when Edmonton went on their run. He's like, you know what? Maybe I won't be in here for game 7.
But then last year's game 3 happened, and Florida demolished Edmonton in a demolition derby.
Man, well, somebody else is gonna have to demolish Edmonton. Hopefully, it doesn't take until the final this year. But,
I don't think it will.
Coming out.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Although I do want to flip this gentlemen, because this is because it's the NHL playoffs, and because we have seen the Kings do this, we've seen the Panthers do this, we've seen the Blue Jackets do this. If the Kings take down the Colorado Avalanche,
Oh God.
well, number one, Kings fans are going to be ecstatic. Where will that leave the Colorado Avalanche?
That is a question, as professional as I am, Ian, I don't even think I'm prepared to answer at this point because there is no more excuses anymore. The only thing we can say for certain is you don't want to have the Avalanche be forced to play in a Game 7 because, Alec, as we've gone over in a lot of these, especially with the Mikko Rantanen thing against Dallas, they can't win those.
Don't change those Game 7 losses for their 2022 Stanley Cup. But it's still true they have not won a Game 7 since 2002. Yeah, and if they go up in a second round series with either Dallas or Minnesota, and that goes all the way to a 7th game, oh boy.
Yeah, that's an interesting hypothetical for sure. It would be jubilation down here. I mean, I think even just getting a win or two for Kopitar on his way out would be a boon for them. But if they're able to do something crazy, I mean, the Avalanche, yes, and Alec, you're absolutely right. You take that 22 Stanley Cup all day long and cradle it in bed at night because it doesn't look like necessarily it's going to be the easiest path, even though they were world beaters earlier in the year. I think there's some real competition ahead of them. I think they have the horses to go up against anyone, but they're built for now. To the question that was asked, they're built for right now, and they're going to be hard choices if they're not able to get it done this playoffs.
So, real quick, before the intermission ends, I want your gentleman's opinion on this. With them finally ending their 15-year playoff drought, the Buffalo Sabres, do you think it will be, now it's never satisfied, the ultimate satisfaction is winning the cup, but will goals have been met if they make it out of the first round but falter in the next one?
You guys go first.
My answer is short. It's yes. I think, especially in the scenario you just described, if they win a round, 100%, I think that fan base not only has changed the regime after a decade and a half of futility and just making a playoff appearance, but you can't be satisfied. You got to fight. They are going to fight. I think they have what it takes to win a round. And if you win that round, you're golden. You're golden. And so I'll leave it there. Alec, jump in there. I'm curious to what you think.
Same here. If you beat Boston in the first round, you officially have your expectations set for next season, regardless of whether or not you beat Tampa or Montreal in the second round. No matter how far you go, your expectations are going to be set for the upcoming seasons. Your turnaround is already set in stone. You have to keep adding. You cannot be complacent here.
Yeah, and you got Jarmo Kekalainen now over there, and they've done a great job. And I'm going to echo everything for you, gentlemen. That's pretty much what I'm going to say. You went around, you've done everything we've expected you to do. You go into next season, you can start to press a little bit more. But I know Cooper said your schedule will probably open up in May. I know usually we go around the Western Conference, but we might have to call a game with the Buffalo Sabres in the playoffs, and we didn't expect to say that.
Yeah, certainly not. But honestly, listen, the Sabres are not a team I think about all that often for any number of reasons. Geography, past success or lack thereof, etc. But I'm happy to see it. I love a little bit of new blood. I love some magic. I'll throw this last thought out, too. If you win a round and then another round as the Buffalo Sabres, there's almost a backwards mentality there where then it doesn't feel like enough because then you're in a conference final.
I agree.
And you really want to make that run all the way. So somehow, I don't want to limit them. Their fans would say I'm crazy, but I almost hope they get that first round, and then maybe that's they top it out in this year and can stack on next year and continue a nice period of growth.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, Cooper, because honestly, I think you make a great point. That's kind of where I would lean too. You get a little too hungry and you want more when you really just have to get that first taste. Because look, it's been a decade for the Red Wings, and now the Sabres be able to end it first. So there's a lot of work left to do as we get set back to get into the play-by-play. I don't know if Cooper's going to be actually home in time for the rest of this, but we're going to go ahead and call it here for you. 27-17 on the shot board in favor of Colorado. Both teams did not score on their power plays. The Flames had 2. The Avalanche have had 3. There was 2 of those and a 5-on-3 they didn't score on. And tied after 2, Flames are 9-8-5, 8-4-5 for the Avs. Long shot. This one gets deflected now as it's picked up near the left side red line. Avs thought that they're going to be offsides as this goes back now to Ole Mata. Again, he's been longly tenured in the NHL as this is picked up now off the outstretch, and Farabee will be forced to retreat. Mata's open toward the right side, but they'll go across the middle to Blake Coleman, who did not move at the deadline. He's going to finish out here with the Flames, and then we'll see about the next coming seasons. But he's had another fine year as Blake Coleman. Zach Whitecloud, I don't know if he left the dressing room to come back at all. We'll see if he'll be back there, as this will be dumped in. Gradine now will watch as Mackenzie Blackwood has this stolen out front, and then it's tipped. It's a save by Blackwood toward the front of the crease, as this will be intercepted now. Zane Perek back past Morgan Frost. One more one-timer, and that one is saved by Blackwood.
Decisions. Blackwood's make his case for game 1 of the playoffs and the final regular season game of the Avalanche this year. It's going to be tight between him and Scott Wedgwood, and that's up to Jared Bednar to decide.
Victor Olofsson was the one that let the bullet go there. He's had himself a pretty good game. It's been a long time since I've covered the Flames, but I've liked what I've seen from Olofsson as well for the former Av. It seems like he's fitting right in.
And he has, nicely.
18-13 left to go in the third off the tie-up. This will be won by the Avalanche as it's Frost. We'll get back on the back skate. You got Weeb there with Nichushkin, and off the drop for the captaincy, and Landeskog tried to stuff it in short side, but Wolf said no. As this is picked up toward the right side boards Nick Waugh. It's popped up into the air, and a rolling puck will be settled down by Morgan Frost. Frost now off the lead for Olofsson. This one up high hits Mackenzie Wood in the glove hand. And it's picked up now toward the left side of the Flames logo as Nicholas Waugh banked this in off the inboards. They picked up now Nichushkin with a rocket of a pass as Wolf got bumped in the crease. Sharangovich over straight, try to get out of the way of the referee. He had a forecheck in his face. And Ole Mata now, left side blue line, gingerly put it in across the red. Flames will steal. Here's Tyson Gross. Not only Mata deflected, and this one will be saved by Blackwood.
This youth movement is transpiring nicely for Calgary in this rebuild. As we mentioned, some of the young kids playing a long year. The healthy mix is that they have young players and veteran talent. Sharangovich with the tip being one of those veterans, and Ole Mata, another one of those veterans. Whether it be staying over for the haul towards the transition phase or building their resumes up as trade candidates, such as Mata's case.
It's going to be pretty interesting, Cooper, I would think, in the 26-27 season when we get set to view the Saddle Dome. It'll be my first time, but this Flames team could have some really interesting players on it that we'll be watching.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see who Craig Conroy brings in that could be real cornerstone pieces, that guys that are maybe mid-career, still have some youth left in the legs, that may be identified as pieces that can be there for a nice long contract and start to build this team back up.
Connor Zary now in between the zone end with Weeb as this is picked up toward the right side boards. Back in behind now will be circumvented. Ross Colton, Jack Drury, cross ice feed, and the Flames will steal. They bunched up the slot nicely there. And off the rush, it's Connor Zary. Wrister saved by Blackwood. as Verstavich will chase this one in the corner. He settled back down for the Avalanche defense. We'll start again now with Nick Blankenberg, the Michigan man, who's had a couple of good shots on. Again, they're going to be adding TJ Hughes. They lost to the Denver Pioneers when we covered both of those games in heartbreaking fashion because they couldn't get past Johnny Hicks. As this goes to the left side D. Here is Cale. Forehand burners. Loops in behind the net now. Cale still with it. Sets up a slap shot. Wolf fights it off. There's Lekhonen out in front with Martin Necas. Ole Mata gets a good stick battle. Chasing on the right side boards and Nathan MacKinnon. He'll spin and turn as this gets knocked away for number 29. And the Flames defense will clear this one down the ice. 15:30 left to go. We got the whole entire quartet in here with us, and it's been cool to see as this is knocked away now. Blake Coleman with a steal on Necas. Coleman trying to drag it over his skates, picks it back up now off the backhand. Here's Farabee, Ripper, and this one's saved. That was a good setup there from Coleman to Farabee, right in off the rush. It's a creative play as 5 minutes have set to expire in this third. Shot board 28-22. It's Waugh. He's got it now. Sauce out of the air. Wrister stolen by Coleman again as he will chip it into the left side red line, take a change for Ryan Huska's squad. And that was clear from 120. Blackwood had to play it. Start again now for Nick Waugh. He gets canceled off near the left side red line, but he sends it in. As we get a camera shot, I can't find the puck. Verstavich now on the right side wing. It's Gradine. Has this one go between his legs from the left side dot. We'll chase it in the corner. Couple stick chops. Flame steal. Send it out front. One timer for Olofsson. And Blackwood's got that too.
We praise Olofsson for how he's filled in for the nice. I can't speak right now. We praise Olofsson for how he's filled in nicely in this Flames lineup. And here's Morgan Frost, who set up Olofsson was all alone in the slot, dead center. Valinsky was late reacting to the play. Good save by Blackwood, though, but how about Olofsson?
Yeah, he's been good. And then Coleman have a setup. And Cooper, I'll say this too. For Blake Coleman, whether or not he stays or goes for longevity, I really can't see this team without number 20 in the lineup.
I agree with you, my friend, but you know what? If we are getting a last look here, he has been a Flame that I will remember. There are a number of Flames that didn't always have the longest tenures, but I think it made a big difference on the culture of the program, and even if he steps away, I'll respect Coleman for a long, long time.
14, 6, and 9 in one-goal games for Calgary. So that tells you a lot of times being able to pick up points. And as I profile alongside Alec and Ian, the Flames' home record is actually better than the Red Wings' home record, considering they're rebuilding year at 33-38. Remember, they're 22-12-5 at home. That is more than respectable. As this is try to get one straight back for Adam Klapka, getting set to take the draw. As this one gets knocked away. We will cancel it off. Zeri now with a soft chase. As this is Rory Cairns out there with Zeri, 6-47. I still think Zeri's got a lot to give as far as what he can bring as Blankenberg goes offside. So it'll be interesting to watch as Kivaranta was the one they were trying to find. We'll get a neutral zone draw. We'll take a break.
You mentioned Coleman among the list of Flames teams that have been here for quite a while, and he did make an impact in that 2022 series when he first came over to Calgary. Whether or not he stays here or gets traded, we don't know, but he's one of those underrated players in the NHL that can be a good two-way presence. You've seen it in his Tampa years, we've seen it in the New Jersey years, and we're seeing it now.
I know you've been busy with work and all that stuff, Cooper, so I haven't been able to watch a ton of Flames games myself because of the MIHL things. But if you do have any thoughts on this, I just want to ask you, what do you think of Zach Whitecloud?
Well, I think that he has really ingratiated himself nicely with the community. It's interesting we talk about somebody like a Blake Coleman. I think Whitecloud can have a similar type of effect on the team, even if he is only with the Flames for a certain period of time. Coming in with the transactions that were made this year, those are big moves, right? You see guys like a Uyghur go out. He was beloved. His return to the Saddle Dome just recently, he received a wonderful ovation. I think Whitecloud is the type of guy in the league and in Calgary who can have that type of love from the community. So that's what what I'm sensing growing for him, and I think he's really heard that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's fit right in. I've kind of liked some of the veteran additions that Alec had talked about and mixed with this youth movement. And I had this question just before you hopped in, Cooper. I know it was kind of jokingly, but I was almost a little bit serious. In the mix of the Red Wings and the Flames, which team's farther along and who's going to make the playoffs first? I mean, if the Red Wings don't do it in a couple of years, I think the Flames could at least threaten. They're getting a lot better.
I mean, I'm sure we all have thoughts on that, but especially on the Red Wings side. I think the Red Wings need to pay attention to your prediction this year and honor it, my friend, because you're getting used to all this success out there in Michigan, John. You got football championships, you're bringing home March Madness championships. The Wings just need to fall in line. The Flames will get there eventually, but the Wings need to snap into it, and they got to get locked in.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too, because you and I are on lockstep, not just from doing all these games, but I really like what the Flames have. I don't think it's going to take all that long. Again, it's never fun going through a rebuild, but I think Craig Conroy is doing it right. He got a lot of picks upcoming. Lekhonen, he just misses the right side post. Slap pass set up there for Brett Kulak. Cross ice feed, and Wolf makes an unbelievable save as the paddles down.
So many chances in front for Colorado and so many saves with Dustin Wolf, showcasing why he was part of the preliminary process of determining who were going to be the free goaltenders for Team USA. I'd imagine he's going to be in that process again for World Cup of Hockey 2 years from now. This kid's very good, and he's just a sophomore in the NHL.
Sliding over, no problem near the right post after Cale Makar was putting on a series of moves. Again, as we talk about the second period, Cale Makar was denied on a breakaway by Dustin Wolf. I mean, he's putting on the skate display there, and he just meets it. He gets a screen right in front of MacKinnon. No problem there. Makes the save nonetheless. And Dustin Wolf, I agree with all those things in the high priority. I think he's going to be very, very special in this league. As this goes back now for Weave and Brustevich, as this will be centered out in front. The Flames will find it now near the left side boards and a couple of stick chops. It is Dave Hextall's squad now with the puck as it's picked up now for Cale Makar. He will get the second pass. Makar still with it now, patient as he gets it back in the high slot. Cale, he'll spin, still dancing with the puck. Cross ice feed will get deflected off a Flames blade and up into their own bench.
Oh, as we're seeing Mackenzie Blackwood, he did have some pad issues in between intermissions, so he had to get that cleaned up with the equipment staff.
12:52 left to go here in the third. John alongside Alec Nava, Ian Genji, and Cooper Hopkins, who was driving me on his way back home. Here is a slapper. This one goes wide of Dustin Wolf against the glove hand of Brustevich. The Washington Township, Michigan native will flip this one out of the zone. Again, he could be part of Team USA in the future as well. He's already been well part of that development program as one of the Flames takes a spill and behind the Colorado defensive zone. It's a 1-1 game. I don't know if I can necessarily tell you I'd expect that at this point, but it's been iced against the Avs.
Interesting list of Team USA potential candidates that you brought up. In this 1-1 hockey game, I've been looking all over for potential candidates. One of them could be Carter Gauthier down the line.
Yeah, he's had a pretty fun time in Duck Lane, has he not?
Yeah, he has. He's had his breakout year this season. He's going to be part of that core for a long time.
Dustin Wolf, 29 of 30 in this game. Mackenzie Blackwood, 23 of 24. Goaltenders have been special in this one so far. This is game number 81, I believe, for both of these teams. We got one more against the Kings on Thursday, but usually on that side, those are the games that Cooper Hopkins gets blacked out of. And I don't know what my availability is for Thursday, but if it is, I might just do another Flames game before I get used to my assignments. As it's picked up now by Perek and Tyson Gross. We'll send this one up. He was looking for an outstretch for Klapka, and this got taken away. Lekhonen now will watch as this goes toward the right side, picked up now across the backboards. Lekhonen now, one-timer. Wolf fights it off in the left side corner for Nick Blankenberg, who's looked really good for the Avalanche in this game. Again, the U of M man, as you talked about, they're going to be adding TJ Hughes, and they already got Gavin Brindley as this picked up a lot of Big Ten names. As this is rattled back around the inboards one more time. Lekhonen was hooked a little bit. He can't chase it. Makar gets it. Now Marty Necas with a spin. I've called that about 12 times already. Pirouettes all over the place for those guys. And this is rushed the other way. Flames will get there first toward the left side boards. Cross-ice feed for Backlund, but it's too late to his blade to the left side red line. This is a good push here for Brustevich. He ends up forcing a steal. Coleman try to kiss it off the glass. 10:50 thereabouts left to go in the third. Brustevich trying to find Coleman cutting. This goes back to Hunter. Shoots, deflected, hits Blackwood up high near the mask. Makes the save. Shot board 31-25. Flames doing a better job in this third period of getting that closer. Farabee, wrister through the traffic. This one fought off by Mackenzie Blackwood. Flames retrieve again. Looking pretty good here. As it's Brustevich off the touch. There was some fresh changes right at the net. That one just wide for Backlund. As this goes rolling the other way. Dustin Wolf doesn't need to leave his goal crease. As Brustevich was chased softly there by Nichushkin. If Nichushkin, you can just stay on the ice and concentrate on hockey, you would think he's going to be an absolute X factor one more time. Karen's offside for Zeri. You get a stoppage at 10-10.
That is rough for Nathan MacKinnon to not capitalize on that wide open net from the bottom of the left circle. All they to shoot that, and it just skipped over him. Calgary's doing a much better job of sustained pressure in this third period, and it's been noticeable as the time passes. You see more dangerous chances towards the slot, and we see more deflections that are in the slot off of those long shots.
Yeah, glimpses of what could be is what I'm seeing in this game right now. And I understand that Colorado's already clinched the President's Trophy and where they are, but they still got all their top units and personnel. You talk about with Cale, Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, and Marty Necas playing in this game, and the Flames are playing them pretty much even at this point. As Nick Waugh off the drop across the Flame and say, go ahead again.
This is in no way any type of disrespect towards because he is a phenomenal goalie. But Colorado, why are you playing with your food?
There's a lot of extra passing, that's for sure. Olimata has it now. Here's a pass off the gut. Morgan Frost chasing to the right side corner. Frost off the lead for Farabee, the Philadelphia Flyers teammates, but this one gets knocked away. We'll go the other way. Logan O'Connor trying to work his way up the gut as this is taking us aside toward the left side boards, and it's picked up in the middle of the slot. Wide open chance. Oh, what a save by Wolf as he slides over. Picked up now. Olofsson by himself on a 1-on-3. They'll just kitty corner into an open area. Matvei Gradin. This is bounced off the backside of Blackwood's cage. Picked up now for the Avs. I thought they were off. I guess not. Picked up to the left side red line and then now out across the neutral zone. Here for Sam Malinsky. Malinsky's plus minus, but it was almost in the 40s as it's picked up now for Cale Makar. He goes all the way up the gut, finally gets sticked aside, and this is a slow chip across the right side glass. Brett Kulak has his pass deflected in between some skate blades. Flames doing a good job on the forecheck as it is Lieb will throw this across from Brustevich. Send it in. Pick it up now for the Flames. Working behind the net as it's recollected across the right side. And now Colorado, Kulak off the back pass. This will be chipped. Olimata tried to over pursue it. He stole it from Nathan MacKinnon and then coughs it right up to Artturi Lehkonen. 7:50 left to go in the third. A long way to go before OT, but this almost feels like that type of game. Olimata now for Zane Parekh. Now racing across the left side red line. Farabee wide open, shoots, and got a stick save toward the left of the post for Mackenzie Blackwood. Farabee power move. He goes short side. He missed the net. Backlund couldn't pick up the bounce. We'll go the other way now for number 88, Marty Necas. What a sauce pass. And this one knocked away from Ross Colton. Flames little double team, steal the puck. Take this one right to left. Coleman's pass. They'll connect. They'll work his way to the net. Coleman bounced off his back skates. And then he couldn't get a piece of it near the left side dot as Colorado looks to counter. Somebody falls down. Pass across. Oh, what a save by Wolf. As we press on, it's 1-1. Excellent play there for Dustin Wolf, and it goes the other way for Conazeri. It's too far for him. 33-27 on the shot board. Colton sells it high. This goes wide up the hall. Toward the left side below, and Maletsky shoots off the backboards. Wolf cancels that off too. As this will be settled down. Cairns can't get it out. This goes back to the Flames defense, and only Mata can settle it down. 6:30 left to go in the third. Breakout pass is a good one. This is Klapka. Big body's going to protect on the forehand. Off the drop. It's Weeb right in front for Frost, and Blackwood makes a great save in the slot off the one-timer as this goes up and out of play. My goodness.
That 2-on-0 save by Dustin Wolf may be the save of the game. As one of the Flames defenders falls down, it looks like a free goal from Jack Drury or Logan O'Connor between the two of them. But Wolf stood there, said no to that. Oh my goodness, what a save.
I'll be right back, gentlemen. I got to step aside.
What action here in Calgary?
Boys, I'm not even able to get this one on right now. And John's call painted the picture for me. I think Dustin Wolf is making the most of this Team USA audition tonight. It sounds like he's standing on his head.
He is right now. He is keeping the Flames alive and well in this game. This game is for the young guys. The audition for all of them to make for a spot in the team next season. And Dustin Wolf, he wants to say, hey, Bill Guerin, here's my resume.
Or if he's still alive, showing like be the leader, the lead of the pack.
Yep. That's another way to put it.
Sorry.
Oh man, I watched. So I'm seeing this from Minnesota. It turns out that Jesper Wallstedt's nameplate on his jersey was misspelled because of a prank, not by Marc-Andre Fleury, but Philip Gustafson is taking part of the pranks. He's picking up where Marc-Andre Fleury left off.
Oh God, are you telling me that they have prank wars in the Minnesota Wild locker room?
Yes, they're having prank rooms in the Wild locker room. Oh man.
Unfortunately for the Flames, White Cloud's not available for the third, but he has been great there.
I'm just sharing these videos over here in the Jumbotron, including the prank war.
I'm making my way back now. Sorry, gentlemen.
No worries.
We got about 6 minutes left to go in the third.
Wild these days. 6 minutes left.
Oh, I like that. I like that there on the Jumbotron. So, yeah, 5:50 left to go in the third. It's a 1-1 game. We got everybody here with us right now. And this is a lot of fun right now. This is the third and final meeting between the two teams. Here is Nichois. Weeb now will keep him toward the right side board. So, again, a lot of the young Flames defensemen, in between Verstavich and Weeb, I think have played pretty well, too. Good positionally sound and not trying to over-pursue when they don't need to. As Backlund, this pass, a little Wolfold there for Ole Mata, but then it's intercepted now by Necas. Necas turning on the burners, working on the outside. Good save, Wolf. And Weeb now will recollect and throw this one toward the left side red line. Good rebound control there to get it out quickly when the Flames needed to. There's Nathan MacKinnon. They'll just get centered toward the middle of the slot. Blake Coleman's pass. This is picked off. Cale Makar, wrong guy to get it to. He tries to jump over to get a shot, but Dustin Wolf cancels off the angle as we get a stoppage just inside of 5 minutes.
That's not exactly a Michigan, but rather a forward bounce that Cale Makar tried to juggle up in the air to himself, batted out of midair right after Marty Necas had another good look. He wanted to go far side on Wolf, and Wolf, he's continuing to stand his ground.
Yeah, he's played quite well. 34 of 35, a 971 save percentage. Mackenzie Blackwood, 27 of 28, 964. It's a goaltending duel right now.
right, and Anaheim just lost to Minnesota, which means the Kings, they controlled their destiny, avoiding the Avalanche in the first round. That means if they win out against Vancouver and Calgary, they avoid Colorado regardless of what Anaheim does against Nashville.
And you're telling me again, let me click on the standings here, Alec, that the Pacific is open with the Ducks, and we could possibly get Edmonton and the LA Kings again.
Oh my. Is Groundhog Day seriously going to happen again in Los Angeles?
Is that 4 years in a row?
Destiny, boys. I'm calling it now. It's happening again. The hockey gods are playing with us. Alec, you're just talking about pranks to the NHL. That's the biggest one right there.
Oh boy, it has to be.
I just feel like that one little meme that they always show with death and the doors and the blood. That's just Edmonton and LA. I can't watch that anymore. Like I got to a point when the first year, okay, I covered a couple of those games and it was fun. But now that we're getting to possibly year 4 in that rematch, that might be one of those ones I just don't cover at all.
I mean, now this is the 5th year in a row. Like, this is getting tiring.
Yeah.
Last year was supposed to be the year the Kings break that trend.
I can't see it now, honestly.
Not anymore. Like, you try to have Kopitar go out sad?
Rare occurrence, you got 2 guys with 1,000-something games, and they showed Phil Kessel, and then they showed Brent Burns. We already knew that. I watched one of the milestones that Brent Burns hit, and some of those guys have those same Chewbacca beards in the crowd. And this one is tipped and in, and I don't mean to not give this the call that it deserves. I just didn't see it there. It got tipped past Dustin Wolf from a long angle, and right enough the draw, the Avalanche got the lead with 4:53 left.
It's the ones that you least expect that you see happening. There's a long shot from the deepest part of the point at the corner. The Gabe Landeskog was set in front, ready to receive that tip in from the deep shot left side. Brett Kulak was right there to fire it, and Landeskog deflected it on a perfect spot, top corner.
Yeah, he sure did, and I want to give myself a little bit of a leeway here because Sportsnet didn't even track the puck yet by the time it was in. So I didn't see Landeskog tip it. He gets his 14th. And now Necas on a break. Try to get gloved down to the air from Artturi Lehkonen. Now the Flames got to go if they want to get this one tied. Here is Farabee. Avalanche trying to get 4 points in back-to-back nights. What a spin move by Perek, throws it on net. Saved by Blackwood.
Oh, that got it. We're talking about a highlight reel goal for Zane Perek. And that one got it. Spinorama, right around Artturi Lehkonen, backhander with Coleman sitting up in front. Mackenzie Blackwood may have tracked it down, but Perek showing what he can do. This kid is going to be special. He's the future of Calgary's back end.
Let me say this in football terms. I know I don't play a lot of Madden. Again, football is not what I normally follow. But if you have a low speed spin rating, you can see they kind of feel like they're swimming in Jell-O when they make that move. That was a full speed pirouette for Zane Perek. He made that look easy.
Oh, man. That was delicious.
This is Brstanich now in his own end. Good pass up the gut here for the Flames, and a wrister. This will get deflected. That was a little bit too wide. And then it'll be thrown into the Colorado bench. Don't need any more of those right now, considering they're down a head coach. But it is about 4:11 or 4:11 left to go in the third. I think the ESPN box a little bit ahead of me, as I apologize.
Oh, good. But it's strange to see Parker Kelly, since the start of March, has 7 goals for the Avalanche. Tied with Gabriel Landeskog's 7th, which he scored in that span. And then right ahead of those two are Nathan MacKinnon and Marty Necas, which are no surprise. But the real surprise, Parker Kelly.
It's good depth in for Chris McFarland and Joe Sakic squad in terms of the GM and president. And you think that, as we all said, they've got to pretty much win one now. This is the best chance that the Avalanche are going to have. They'll still have more. Here's a rush now, as this is Logan O'Connor being hooked. Glove flew off. No call, as it's 3:45 left to go in the third. This will be sailed the other way. Picked up now Olofsson. Couldn't let everybody check up there. It was too much. and go off sides at 3:44.
And that was easily a hold from Ole Mata on Logan O'Connor. He held him back, and the referees didn't get an arm up in the air. Colorado could have hoped to have at least gotten a power play out of this, but the officials this late in the game are swallowing their whistles because they didn't see that as blatantly obvious. You're not getting a penalty this late in the game unless it is blatantly obvious.
Matvei Gradin getting one of those camera shots as Braden Pahal, fresh off his 3-point game, will throw this one in now to Blake Coleman. Coleman now goes chasing behind Blackwood's net. He's only given up one. Dustin Wolf's only given up two, and that last deflection from Gabe Landeskog was pretty filthy. As this is sent back now toward Cale Makar. Off the outstretch, he'll throw it into the Avs bench. We'll get another stoppage at 3:22.
I'm curious with how this top pairing of Kulak and Makar works out in the playoffs. Kulak did work out nicely in a top pairing role last year next to Evan Bouchard with the Oilers, and that led to get top pairing minutes here in Colorado. That's what they brought him in for. That usually it would be the Taves and Makar pairing. They've since split up, and Taves is now paired with Malinsky.
And I know you've been able to see it alongside Pittsburgh, but it really surprised me when they moved on from Sam Girard. But again, Kulak, he had that same type of propensity with Bouchard and Cale Makar, as you said, as offensive defenseman. Cale's just got a little more tools in the toolkit. Speaking of that, here's MacKinnon with a ripper, and this is right in the trapper of Dustin Wolf off the rush.
Of course, the speed game that Colorado loves to play. Of course, playoffs are a slowed down pace, but you have to play with speed, and Colorado knows well how to play with speed. That's why they have one of the fastest players in the NHL. Two of the fastest if you include Necas.
Yeah, you got that in the mix of Cale Makar, Necas, and MacKinnon. I mean, you have what a lot of teams don't. And we're expecting big things from the Avs. Again, we talk about 2022. It doesn't really feel like a lifetime ago, but to this unit, you imagine it does, and they want to get it going. Brent Burns slap shot saved by Wolf. It's loose in the little slot. Connor Zary able to get this out across the flaming sea. They'll go for a chip and chase. And we're getting pretty close here to where the Flames are going to need to pull the net minor should they choose to do so. 2:45 left to go in the third. Weeb will send it across. Blackwood has this get fought off in front of him. And now Rory Caron's going to get some time. And off the spin and lead, Connor Zary back out there. He'll loop, try to provide a screen out in front. His good stick there for Weeb knocks it away. And this will be sent in. Ryan Huska's squad. Everybody going to get off the ice, take a change. 38-29 on the shot board. Gabe Landeskog, the captaincy, has given the Avalanche a 2-1 lead. That was inside 5 minutes. Picked up now away from Logan O'Connor. And across the neutral zone, it's Morgan Frost. Ole Mata intercepts. This is slammed in across the kick plate. Olofsson now have to give chase. As this is looped back around, Avalanche trying to quickly transition the other way. Logan O'Connor wants to make himself open for the drop pass to the left side circle, and this will be knocked away. Necas steals. Will provide some point work. Zane Parekh looking to get it open and behind the net. He gets a stick, and he steals the puck away. Now he overskates it as it's opportunity now for Ole Mata. Go ahead and carry the mail. Matvei Gradin to Parekh. Stick to side. Thrown at the net there for Sharangovich. And that one was taken away from Blackwood. Might have got a stick on it. 90 seconds left to go in the third now. As Ole Mata will send this one in. This will go D to D now. Colorado with an outstretch from 50. It's MacKinnon on a one-on-one. He'll back up. Leave the drop pass for Marty Necas. He'll smartly just kill some time. One-timer deflected. Good save off of Lekhonen by Dustin Wolf as we got 1:05 left to go in the third. Settled down now for Nathan MacKinnon. He loses it. He'll get off the ice. It's Brustevich with it. 55 seconds left to go in the third. Dustin Wolf still in the goal crease. Now he'll leave as they get across the left side red line. Flames with the extra attacker here. This is turned over right in the middle of the slot. Flames try to fight it again. And Brent Burns can't get it to Marty Necas as this will go off with Suniev's stick up and out of play.
Took a while for Calgary to pull the goaltender. I'm like, how in the world did they not pull the goal? How did they not pull Wolf earlier? You need to get something now if you're Calgary and you tie this game up and you don't pull Wolf until 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, they took a little bit too much time when they had it in their own end, and then when they did get up the ice, they elected not to pull. And now Ryan Huska is going to take the timeout just underneath 40 seconds left to go in the game. Again, your scoring summary for anyone that just joins us or listens late, it was Blake Coleman at the 7:22 mark from Mikael Backlund, and then Artturi Lehkonen with his 21st. Cale Makar's 56th assist to Sam Malinsky's 32nd. And then Gabe Landeskog from Kulak and Makar. Dustin Wolf was spectacular, 36 of 38, but it looks like he might be outdueled by Mackenzie Blackwood, 28 of 29. Unless we get something here toward the end of these 40 seconds, the Flames got one more game against the LA Kings, and then that'll be all for the end of the regular season. And then before we go, I just want to ask Cooper a couple of questions, and then I'll bounce out later. I will say, too, Thursday, it might be up in the air for me. I'm still dependent on any MIHL stuff. I was planning on working this weekend. Again, I can't speak too much, but I think some of those games might be up in the air too. But eventually I'll get my shot. I just don't know if it's going to be this week. But we'll find out, because if it's not, I might just join Alec in Progress for some playoff games, as it's Frost and MacKinnon if he's available for it. Picked up now for Zing Parekh. Wrister, saved by Blackwood, rebound, but he's got that second one too, as it's 33 seconds left to go in the final frame.
Yeah, once again, I was confused of why Calgary didn't pull Wolf earlier, but good job by the Flames to generate traffic at the front of the net and allow Parekh to fire a shot straight away.
Good screen out in front there. Gradin was there. Suniev, Frost. You got three of the younger players out there for the Calgary Flames in a final pivotal moment when they're down by 1 goal. So pretty cool to see Ryan Huska give them that trust.
Suniev, Gradin, as you mentioned, they were out there to generate the traffic. Here comes Sharangovich as the extra attacker.
Tyson Gross going to take this draw against the captaincy in Landeskog. We did the first one unfairly. Now the referee will decide to eventually drop this. Gross wins it straight back. Parekh wants it. Frost shoots, and off the backboards, Flames pick it up a couple times and hits the side of the net. Parekh try to hold it in, and it looks like the Avalanche are going to put it in the empty net. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. He scores. It's 3-1. The Avalanche are going to take 4 points in 2 straight games. Nate Dogg gets an empty netter.
And there's a milestone for Nathan MacKinnon. We mentioned about the elite goal scorers of the NHL. Cole Caulfield with 50 on no empty nets, by the way. But Nathan MacKinnon showed that he is a Hart Trophy candidate, and there is number 53 on the year. So that's where he's going to finish on the season before the playoffs start. And what a year it's been for MacKinnon. He's going to be in the Hart Trophy conversation for sure. It's going to be a very tight race between him, McDavid, and Kucherov.
So MacKinnon with 53. Now we can officially say it too. Congratulations to Marty Necas for the century mark. His 62nd assist gives him 100 points on the year.
Yeah, first time in his career for Marty Necas. I watched him grow his game in Carolina, and he's become the star winger that he's become in Colorado. And even though he's no longer with the Hurricanes, I'm very happy for him.
That's your final. It was an entertaining game nonetheless. Colorado wins it 3-1 in their final meeting at the Settle Dome. Again, you got one more of these on Thursday against the LA Kings. Before I get set to sign off, Cooper, I know you were talking about your schedule possibilities. Do you still think May is going to be open for you? Because I would try to get a dual broadcast with you.
Yeah, 100%. That's still what we're targeting. And,
Okay.
And I'm wrapping up what has been a very exciting and busy few months. You boys can catch me on Thursday afternoon here on the West Coast, 2 p.m. first pitch time. The California Golden Bears coming down to play the Cal State Northridge Matadors. I'll be on ESPN Plus for that call.
Yes.
And then the final home series for the Matadors will be against UC San Diego before they head out of the Big West Conference and move into, I think it's the West Coast Conference. But we're going to call that game from Matador Diamond on the second to last weekend of April. And so that will take me into May with you boys, and we'll call some NHL hockey if you'll have me. And I really appreciate you for letting me jump in. I apologize it was a short cameo tonight.
No, we appreciate it as always. This is good to hear your voice. I'll definitely check out some of that stuff as I've been busy too. Alec's been busy. You got school and everything. Ian's always working. So anytime you get a chance for all of us to join in on the broadcast, we're always appreciative. So if we get a chance to do a Flores of Stanley Cup Finals, we'll definitely do that too. But you and I will be in touch, Cooper.
You got it. Yeah, it's tradition now, John. We'll get a few in, but we got to do the quad call.
Yes, we do.
Before the playoffs are over, we got to get back on it for sure.
Appreciate you, boys. Thank you for joining me for this one. It was fun.
See you then, everyone.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
That's your final 3-1 Avs over the Flames. It was a fun game tonight. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to see what happens here for Thursday. We'll definitely be in touch soon. If not, I got some Sharks games this weekend, but we'll definitely talk and figure out what's going to happen next. Peace, everybody. Take care.